Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. It was a pretty good day there, especially if you were at BYND. That thing was running like a maniac today. So we'll go over that and everything else and what's going to be popping again tomorrow. So let's get into it. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? And there was your heat map right there. Amazon was pretty strong today, I must say. Some of the other ones were pulled back, but look at Amazon blasting off right there, not looking too bad. And your SPY did finish like a penny down. It was just bouncing around all day right there. And there's our favorite candle, a doji candle right there. I thought I would just show you guys that. And it also 670, or what was it, 670, and then closed around 671. So they weren't too far off on here either. And you can see, I don't think it's going to get through the MACD. I was already saying that. Joseph Levy, how are you this evening? And yeah, everybody else, I don't think it is going to get through that MACD. So we could see some pullback, and that's what I was saying. There was some resistance. Maybe it tries to run up in the morning, but I do think we will see a little bit of pullback there. And you also have your CPI coming up on Friday there. So here's our Wednesday report. And then you got your Thursday right there was the jobless claims. Couldn't remember what it was. And then your CPI and core inflation and everything like that at 8:30 on Friday morning. So we'll be watching that to see what it does. And let's see what the market wants to do right here. But yeah, how about that BYND? If you were on there this morning in the live trading, again, I swung this bad boy overnight and it was a good one. And obviously it opened up there today, and then it pulled back a little bit, and then it just ran some more. I actually sold it up there. It ran up a bunch more, obviously. Wish I would have probably kept that bad boy. And it did it actually finished kind of strong. It might be running there tomorrow. And yeah, you noticed the shirt also. Yeah, I just kind of threw a new shirt on. Actually, I don't even think this shirt's new. It was just there. I was like, I got to figure out what shirts look good and what doesn't on the old camera and stuff, so I can change up my shirts and get some good wardrobe. So yeah, I'll just kind of experiment, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see. I'll look back and see if I like it. If not, I won't wear it again and I won't get anything like it. So that's kind of why. And Laptop Travel said he liked the new shirt. Color's great as long as it's not red. There you go. So yeah, I just kind of messing around with some shirts that I had, and I was like, let's see what works, what doesn't, and that good stuff. So glad everyone noticed. And BYND trades in overnight trading, so still holding Laptop Travel. And yeah, that thing was a monster today. And let's see what's going on our regular list and see what we're looking at and what's going on tomorrow. How about Netflix took a big old fall in the after hours? I don't know. They missed big on profit, but remains firm that its growth will continue. Stock futures are a little changed after record session for Dow. Netflix slides on earnings miss, and the S&P flashes signs of fatigue as gold tumbled. Yeah, that took a big old dip, and gold suffers biggest drop in more than a decade. And guys, I mean, when these things are that well up there, and like I tell you, it's got to come back down. There's no reason why it's going to continue to run up. And you guys even know I was saying this thing was up there too. Everything was overextended that had run up into the top, including gold. I don't know if normal people, regular people are all of a sudden saying, yo, I'm getting into gold. You know, the party's over. And other people were talking about gold. It was all over the TV and media, and everybody else was asking about it. And I just said, I don't know if you want to be chasing it up there. I mean, we were watching this thing when it was way down. It's like more than doubled since we were watching gold take off and been talking about it. So again, it's not a surprise to us. That's why we do the market every single day. We know what's going on. It was pulling back good the other day, and it had like a fake out bounce yesterday, I guess, and then dipped down pretty hard. But yeah, anytime it gets into this territory up here, guys, yeah, it's overextended. Of course, it can run, but you always run that risk that it's going to dip, and when it dips, it's going to come down pretty good. So when they start, and when you see that resistance line come into play at any point, you know that's your resistance. It's got to set back up to catch some real momentum to get through that. So that was JNUG, and NUGT came down just as hard right there, and they're going to come back down to the 50 right there on NUGT. And JNUG, what was it going to hit? The same situation right there. So we'll see if they want to stop and bounce off of there. But That's what was going on with gold. And again, it's not a big surprise when they're all the way up like that. Crypto just trying to hang out right there. I'm telling you, it's getting set up, and we can just go through that real quick as well. And then we'll get through our list right here. But Bitcoin right here, look at this thing. It's just making its way down at the bottom and making that base. It already bottomed out them two dips right there. Maybe you have another last dip coming up on Friday, possibly into the weekend. And we do have our CPI, so we'll see what's going on. But I mean, this is getting down there to get set up, guys, and it's going to get cruising. Ethereum right here. Oh, I mean, look at that. We know that once it starts getting around that MACD and it's not bad, it's not getting through. Just give it a couple times. It's got to get set up. Catch that momentum. It's not jumping off a cliff right there. That's for sure. Your 20s will come down, scoop them up as well. I mean, Solana looks pretty good. Look at this thing coming in there. Really nice. Ripple looks pretty good as well. So I would say, look at that look on Ripple. And again, even if it bounces down and sets up a little bit, not the end of the world. Just give it until, what was I saying, at the end of October, right towards the end of October into November right here. I think that's the markets get ripping. We'll go through our government shutdown as well. Although that November 16th really shot back up today. And look at Doge right here. That's setting up another one. Again, it may not get through the MACD right there, but that next time it will get right through it and they'll get cruising. Cardano looks pretty good. Stellar as well. So yeah, I don't think that look at this thing. And yeah, you might have a little bit of pullback, but then it's going to get blasted off. So we'll be watching for any dips right here, and then they'll get rocking and rolling. That was Chainlink Optimism right there. And look at that in the basement, going to get rocking and rolling soon. So yeah, maybe it comes down, but that looks like a bottom right there. Of course, it could pull back a little bit as your 20s over it, but again, they do not look bad at all. So I think they're going to get cruising. I think we're just seeing a little bit of pullback right here in the market set up. And then we can get really flying for the end of the year. And that's what it looks like it wants to do. So here we go. Let's take a look and see what we're getting into. NEON, good old Neon was pulling back today. It wasn't so bright and green as well as it was yesterday, but let's see what it wants to do over here. NEON, and this is one of them electronic component ones. And it's just riding down there in the basement, as you can see. And it is going to get popping. It's just a matter of what day. Maybe it's waiting for that 20 to come down and grab it and take it for a ride. So we'll keep it on here just to check it out, see what it wants to do. KVUE is that Tylenol maker, and that was just pulling back a little bit today. Nothing real crazy. It come out of the basement, and it could get set up right there. It's one we will be keeping an eye on just because we do like it. I'm going to turn that light on just so I can see better. And KVUE, yeah, look at it. It looks like it wants to roll off there and get set up. And again, it may not get cruising just yet, but it is getting set up. So another one that we've been keeping an eye on. Open Door was pulling back there today, and you can see it hitting that support line down there. And again, that 50's coming up in your 20s right there. We'll have to see if it can get bouncing. If not, you could have a nice little dip on there. And the earnings are coming up on Open Door in the beginning of November. So OPEN right there we'll be looking at. And let's see what our QMCO and our quantum and computer hardwares want to do, because they were pulling back still, and these guys were all topped out there at one point, running up like crazy, and now they're just pulling back. That is your QMCO. Our GTI was a good pullback today, as you can see, and might continue down right there. And again, we nailed the tops on these things. I was telling everybody, you better lock in profits. These things are way overextended, and the dip's going to be coming. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you see things like that and they're way up there like that, you got to expect that dip. And even if you get out a little early, it didn't matter, because now look where they go. And that's what I'm always talking about, guys. Yeah, it sucks when you sell them and they go up a little bit, but when they start dipping down, you're not so upset anymore, because they dip well below where you sold it, and then you go, wow, that was the right call right there. Now I can grab it more. It happens every single time, guys. I've seen it happen for so long that I just got immune to it, and I'm like, well, I'll sell them and take my profits rather than risk it getting all the way up at the top, and the probability that it's going to come down is pretty high, and now it's a real risk, and then it comes down on you and you go, well, I know I should have sold that thing. You know how many times I've said that? Almost every single time I've lost on one of them, I said, I knew I should have sold it at the up there, and why don't you just pull the trigger? Because you're expecting you want it to go a little higher. And again, it can go a little bit higher, but if you know it's going to be coming down pretty soon, then you're just playing a risk game, and your probability and risk is way too high to be playing around. So if you're willing to sell it, well, at that point, you're gonna have to end up selling it while it's coming down. So you might as well just take the profits up there before it does come down. And we do speak about that very often. And again, it's all about the experience and learning how to trade. And I tell you guys, I was never really interested in the beginning. I've been doing this for so long, and at first it was just a hobby of looking at stock charts. To be completely honest with you, but yeah, I would say in Deep Soul Diving said he matches his kitchen color. That's funny. Everyone picked out the shirt today. That's hilarious. I guess if I wear like a normal gray shirt almost every day and I change it up a little bit, I guess it is pretty obvious. But yeah, I was just like, I'll wear this shirt and see if it looks good in a video, and then I can go from there. And like I said, I just wanted to change up my wardrobe a little bit on my shirt, so it wasn't all just the same. I dress like that all the time. I just wear like a plain gray shirt and blue jeans generally, and just walk around. And again, generally, if you see me out, I have like my old landscaping and construction clothes on, and I just throw them on to do stuff, and I don't really care. I'll go to BJ's, wherever, and I just walk around. I say, if you ever see me, you would probably think I'm homeless, and that's just the way I am. I've been that way my entire life, guys. I don't think anything's ever going to change me, to be completely honest. So yeah, that's some of my friends laugh about it because obviously they know I do all right, but I do. I live way below everything. I don't care about anything real flashy. I kind of tell you that. So yeah, it was just like, hey, I'll go buy a couple of new shirts that look good in videos because I shouldn't wear this. Like I don't wear the same gray. I have like a whole drawer full of like gray shirts that I just wear. It's like Zuckerberg. He doesn't. I just don't like to take the time to think about wardrobe or anything like that. It's just like, hey, a gray shirt, this, and bam, I can rock and roll and go. And so yeah, I'll figure out some nicer shirts to wear, and it won't look the same for you. And glad everybody noticed that I changed my shirt a little bit. So that's awesome. So yeah, I was like, here, I told my wife, I was like, I'll try this shirt and see how it looks in a video. She's like, did you shoot anything and look? I said, nope, I'll just wing it and see afterwards. And so yeah, it's all good. We have fun on the show. So if it didn't look good, I figured you guys could have a good laugh. So I don't care. It's all good. And Robin said the color looks good and on the camera. So good pop. All right. I appreciate the feedback, guys. Awesome. So there you go. I changed it up. And you know why I changed it up? Because I know the market's going to get changed up. We're just kind of changing up sectors right here. Obviously, our quantum and computer hardware ones that we're looking at right now. Look at that big dip right there. And they're just dipping down, and the other and new ones are going to be popping up, new sectors, and that's what we're going to go through and find out. QBTS. And I told you, I hope Luis want to see in our guys. He asked me, I'm telling you, I talked to him right there, and I told him, you better sell it the next day, which was hitting the top right there. I said, these things are getting super topped out, and I have a feeling that they're going to be pulling back right there. So I have to shoot him a text. I meant to hit him up today. I'll have to shoot him a text and ask him. Hopefully he locked it in. I mean, he would have hit the exact top right there. I mean, anywhere in that area is a beauty when you're selling it and then you see where it's at right now. So again, now you can reallocate all them profits and put it into something else that wants to roll. And Deep Soul Diving said the stylist approved. So I like it there. Awesome, guys. So appreciate it. And yeah, these D-Wave and these guys just pulling back. IONQ, that was pulling back. It's hitting the 50. Let's see what it wants to do tomorrow. Maybe they'll bounce back off and do something. I was looking at the Z space today. I'm telling you, I don't know what is up with it. One of these days, it's just going to get nutty. It's getting into that channel right here. And we'll see if this 20 can start crawling up on it. I have a feeling Z Space can get rolling. So we'll watch it. I was looking at it today saying this thing's got to do something pretty soon, I would assume, but I guess it doesn't have to. But you would think it might. And RCAT right down there and has that support line. So we'll have to see what that wants to do if it wants to pull back. Because if it gets under there, That's where your 50 and your support is, and it could be in trouble right there. So, yeah, I would say we'll be watching our cat as well to see what it wants to do. And here we go. Let's take a look and see what the rest of our list wants to do right here. So that's your quantum computer hardwares and all them guys. And UNH was looking good this morning. It was jumping up there. It did pull back, as you can see, and you can even see right there. It pulled back a little in the open, jumped up, ran up, and then pulled back. A lot of them dipped down right around 11ish and then ran up. So that's what the chart was saying. And we now here, let's go over this one today. If you guys are listening or in the Discord and hop on the live trading, we nailed it this morning. I'll tell you that. Galaxy right here. I literally said right before the open, I said, guys, it's going to pull back right as it opens and then pop. I'm telling you, we hit it right here. It pulled back and it dipped down. And we caught it right down here in the bottom, and then it ran to the top of the day in a matter of moments, guys. And we nailed the top of it too. And it was like that. And it was a great trade. And I had gotten rid of some of my Beyond, which I kind of wish I'd kept now. But at that time, it was actually looking good because it had pulled back right there and then popped up and caught it right there. Then it pulled back a little bit and then it started to run. And I was actually going to re-enter, and I don't know why I didn't. I even said I should probably get back in that at right around $2, and it might have been a great idea. So there you go with Beyond. What are you going to do? But there you are. It was running, and we'll be watching it tomorrow to see if it wants to run some more, because that one does have some potential to keep on cruising. What is it? BYND right there. And that Nerve had some news today, but really just it was disappointing. We were looking at it this morning, and it jumped up right there, and then it pulled back all day. So we were watching that bad boy and a couple others. But let's go through our list and see what else is going on. NABTC was pulling back some more today, and this is our Trump family crypto ones. And again, we're waiting until these are completely set up, ready to go. Like, we know that they're definitely going, and that's when we'll get into them. But we're keeping them on the list because you know that they're going to be good and they're going to run. There's no way that these guys are into these things and they're not going to run. Let's put it that way. And we just have to time it out right. And, that's exactly what we do on the show. And we'll time them out. This Net Capital did look good today. It's looking pretty good in the after hours, NCPL. So we might keep an eye on this one. They might have something going on right here with Net Capital. So keep an eye on this bad boy for tomorrow. NCPL looking pretty decent right there. So I'll be watching that in the morning and see if it wants to get moving. So yeah, that one probably looks the best out of them all. Let's look at PSQH and see what that looks like. And that was down. Yeah, and that one's not even set up. So I would say NCPL looking pretty good right there, Laptop Travel and everyone else. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And every once in a while, some of these get set up right here, and they do run pretty quick. They don't last forever, but that doesn't look bad right there. So, yeah, we're definitely going to watch that one. Our OCGN right here was just kind of hopping around. It looks like it's going to try to rip back up there. I mean, we'll see tomorrow. It could pull back, but it does look like it's trying to hang out for some reason. And we'll see if it can get curled up there. It looks like it could easily start that curl up and be all right to get onto the 20. So I'll be watching that. OCGN, it doesn't look bad. If it gets back up there, it's going to run back up even higher than it was. And Laptop Travel said Roger Dodger on NCPL. He saw that one, and yeah, it looks pretty good right there. So we're definitely going to be Roger in that one right there. That looks nice. So we'll watch that in the morning. And that OCGN, we'll see if it wants to do anything. BMNR, that one was pulling back. Again, Kathy Wood, I think, was talking about the other day. You were saying Laptop Travel. It's getting there. I'd say give it a few days, maybe next week. And that one you can tell because that trend line is going to come down for it right there. You can see it getting set up. So BMNR is definitely on my watch list to get set up and have a big old pop right there. And much devastation for Ivy. Yeah, I definitely had to get out of that one. I actually said that we were getting out of that. I think Ben also had gotten out eventually too. I forget if he said that he got out, but I did. I got out the other day, right on Friday. I took the when it was trying to you just couldn't tell what it wanted to do there. So wow, what did we saw it down here today. We were watching it. And let me see. Yeah, that one was pretty brutal. And so yeah, I jumped out, let's say Tuesday. I remember I got out right there, and then it dipped down because I remember Monday it pulled back a little bit more, and then today it even pulled back more. So yeah, that one they just screwed up completely on that. Didn't they have an offering possibly, or no? They didn't even do an offering, did they? I'm not sure if they did. Hold on, today plunged due to investors booking profits following the surge. And well, that wasn't today because that was the other day when we were watching it and thought it was going to run up some more. So yeah, that's crazy. Some people are talking $13 for BYND. That would be crazy. So yeah, if it's looking that good in the morning, guys, we'll be getting back in. It was jumping up in here. Well, it's at 444 and it's down here as you can see the purple. But yeah, it was jumping up here and hitting this resistance. Ben actually shorted it down at 482. At 481, he caught it right up here. It was crazy. And but then I kind of hit him up tonight and said, "Yeah, you better be careful with that short position." And because it actually started to go down. I'm not gonna lie, he caught it right here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We were on live trade and he caught it at the very top at 482, 481. It was crazy. It went to 482. He literally got it at 481, and then it came down here and we were watching it and it looked pretty good to try to continue down, and then we hopped off and I kept watching it and I said, I don't know, this thing actually don't look so bad right here, Ben. So yeah, I had to shoot him a message over there and say, yeah, you better keep your eye on that, maybe close that short position while you're up a little bit, maybe even probably even whatever you are. But it wasn't anything huge, and he was just playing around too, and he just wanted to see if they had any short and at first he put like 1,000 shares in and it filled it, and he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We were kind of laughing. It was kind of funny. And then he got a smaller position, and like I said, he filled it at 481, guys. It was unbelievable how perfect it was. And then it came down here, but it didn't look like it wanted to run, and all of a sudden it turned around and it doesn't look bad. So yeah, I would say that's beyond the meat, and it could pull another crazy move. And again, I'll have no problem jumping back in it. And yeah, I swung traded a couple of times. I was swing trading it, and I didn't do too bad on it. If I would have just held it a little longer today, or held it today into the day, it probably would have been a little better. But anyway, I still did pretty well on it. I'm not going to complain one bit. So yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll rock and roll again with BYND and see how it looks. So I don't mind. And again, we kind of take the market day by day, so it's perfectly fine. And then we can reevaluate things, and it actually works out a little bit better. I don't mind taking profits and then checking it out and seeing what's happening the next day, rather than risking everything and being like, hey, let's take it over, unless it's a nice setup. But something like that's being pumped all over and it's just crazy, but there's short squeezes going on. It's a wild one, guys. So Deep Soul Diving said he's been scalping BYND too, and yeah, you have no idea. So, and it's a good trying practice and selling. I've been doing the same thing. I did it a few times. It's hard to post it in the Discord when it's so fast, guys. It's like boom, and we've been doing it in the live trading. I mean, I literally call it out nonstop. And so yeah, if you're in the Discord, take advantage of us in that live trading every morning. We hop on around like 9:10. I think Ben does his show around like 9. He does everything, and I'm just getting back. I drop off the kids, drop off my little guy anyway every morning. So I just kind of get back into the swing of things. It works out perfect. And like I said, I get really comfortable just hanging out. And then we just now time. I mean, I've been nailing it with the minute charts now, kind of timing out everything and seeing it. And yeah, Joseph Levy, IVF. That's why I said I was getting out of that bad boy. It definitely was that was a brutal one. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely didn't go. I mean, they just totally screwed up completely. How do you not drop any PR or do anything? I mean, they could have ran this thing up like crazy the next day. They could have ran this thing up to $3-4 with no problem. All they had to do is say, hey, did you see what happened? The White House made it. I mean, you could have went on Chat GPT and been like, we are IVF, the company. Write us a PR statement about what the White House just announced on improving IVF accessibility, because that's what we provide. IVF accessibility. That's all we do, is provide the accessibility. We don't buy the drugs. We don't do anything else. So write a great PR that we can post tomorrow for the company and the stock's going to get ripping off the news. I mean, it would have been that simple. And that's all they had to do is come out the next morning and be like, "Yo, did you see what happened?" And it would have just went apeshit ballistic. And I don't know how they didn't do it, guys. It's kind of mind-boggling. And Ben, again, he said they hit him up like 2 weeks before, and they asked him to take on their business, and he actually declined it. And then he even hit up the CEO why this was happening, was like, "Hey, I know I declined, but here, I'm willing to help you guys out here if you want, and just because it's a unique situation you have going on, and I'll try and I can help you out." And I don't think they even responded. But yeah, I mean, we can help companies out like that, and it's not called pumping anything. It's just doing the right thing at the right time. And you guys hear me talk about it all the time. I can obviously see what you need to do and when you need to do it at the exact timing if you want to have things really get ripping and not be manipulating anything. It's just the timing of things. And again, the stock charts tell you everything. And you guys know that 100% by watching this show and seeing what we do every day. So yeah, I would say that's not even a question. So yeah, we'll keep rocking and rolling. But IVF definitely didn't do what it was supposed to do, and the company just dropped the ball completely. And I'm assuming they're gonna have to have an offering at this point, and it's going to get even more brutal because I mean, what the heck did they do? They had the opportunity of a lifetime, and what it looked like, guys, and this is what should have happened. That 20 right there, it was cruising up that day, and you could see it. All they needed to do was put PR out, and this thing would have went parabolic. The very next day, that 20 would have crawled up to your 50, and you know what happens there. That would have been like a 2-3 day squeeze right there, where it would have been blasting off. And yeah, just a disappointment right there. And like I said, I don't know what the company was doing. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. And yeah, they just screwed up. And again, that's the part about the market that's a risk. And Ben was talking about it pretty big because he put a lot into this thing and had a huge loss. I had a nice little loss, but it was a loss, and it was more than I should have allocated. And that's what he was saying exactly. It's all about your allocations in these in the stocks, about how you're going to do. And you get a little bit crazy and you think that the company is going to do the right thing, and all of a sudden they do exactly the opposite, and then you end up down like 30K. And yeah, that's a huge loss right there. And it's, again, allocating way more because it was pulling back and then buying the dips, assuming that the chart again looked great. The 20 was coming up to meet up there, and you just assume, obviously we didn't know what the company was going to do, but you assume that they're going to drop PR the next morning. I mean, it's kind of crazy that you wouldn't, like I said, and especially in today's day and age, you don't even need a PR rep or anything. You just go on ChatGPT and you can have a whole entire PR statement set up for you in about 3 seconds, and it would be written perfectly, and everybody would be like, all right, perfect, that's all we needed to see, and this thing's going to rip, and the chart was already set up for it. So that is a good example, though, of how you just never know what's going to happen in the market as well. So it's always a risk. And again, we play the charts, and Ben was playing like the technicals, the chart, everything, and again, it was lining up like it should, and it still looked good. And then they just dropped the ball and didn't do what they was supposed to be done at that timing, and it did. It just dipped down really, really hard. And yeah, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. Like I said, they may have to have an offering at this point, and it went completely the wrong way, like we didn't want. And that's why I said I'm just taking the loss right there on Friday, because I didn't want to worry about if they had an offering over the weekend or what was going on. And then obviously it's dipped down the last 2 days. Unfortunately, I thought maybe it was going to bounce back. I even said, watch here, I sold it, watch it bounce right back. And it didn't even do that. And again, they still had opportunity to do something, but it is kind of crazy for IVF right there. I know it's in their name. I mean, it's like crazy that you couldn't how the White House comes out and they just start talking about it like it's like the company, and you don't have PR. It's the most bizarre thing ever. And I think you heard, I even asked Ben, we were joking about it the other day. Was it today or Friday or yesterday? I don't even remember. The days go by so fast. But we were kind of joking about it, like, what the hell? Because again, he took a major loss on this thing, and I did. I took a pretty nice loss as well. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't Ben's loss. He went a little overboard on it, and again, that's why we were talking about allocation is very important because even when you love something or you think that it's supposed to do the right thing. And then it goes completely sideways on you. You're like, holy cow. And you got to exit out of it with a huge loss like that. You're like, damn, that's humbling because I don't know what the hell the company was doing. And and again, you're basing things off of charts and your knowledge and what's going on and what should happen. I mean, what the hell? When Trump comes out and says what he said about IVF and literally like it was like naming the company and they don't do anything. So it is a good example. I'm not going to lie. That's why we stayed on it for a few minutes there. So it's a great example of your risk management as well, but also just shows you that you're never going to be 100% in the market. And like I say, the chart can look beautiful, and 10 minutes later, the headquarters can burn down. It's practically what happened here. Chart looked beautiful, the headquarters burned down, but they might as well have just torched it on fire because they had the opportunity of a lifetime to run this stock up and really get it in like the $3-4 range. And instead, now you're 54 cents, and now it's like in major trouble. And even if it had pumped up there and they had gotten a lot of money out of it, it would have been perfect. They would have done pretty well. And it could have pulled back. They might even be able to keep it stable up over $1 and been in compliance and kept it up over there for like 10 days and kept themselves in compliance a whole nother session there, and then they would have been really good shape. But yeah, I just don't get it, guys. So anyway, that's what happened with that one, unfortunately. IVF, definitely a disappointment right there, that's for sure. And again, the company just missed. I mean, just a missed opportunity right there of a lifetime. You don't get every day that the president comes out and practically names your company by name, and then you just don't take advantage of that situation. That just doesn't make sense. It seems like something weird was up, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll get off of IVF, but that's what happened there. And let's keep on cruising. So yeah, BMNR getting set up. Like I said, that one's on my watch list right there. And SBET right here. This one's getting ready too. You can see how that pullback, but that one's going to be bottomed out, it looks like, and just kind of dancing around down here. So you feel like emailing IVF, even though they don't read it. I know, I'm telling you, Deep Soul Diving, like I said, Ben even reached out to him and was like, holy shit, this is huge. I know I didn't take their business and it's perfectly fine. I'll give them a freebie right here and I'll help them. I go, yeah, dude, reach out to them because we can you definitely steer them in the right direction. I mean, this is like an opportunity of a lifetime. We were talking about it on the Discord. I mean, all they had to do is answer their email, and both of us would have just steered them right in the right direction. I mean, we definitely know what to do, and yeah, it was just like I told you just what you needed to do. It wasn't even rocket science right there. I mean, freaking Trump literally gave you the alley oop of a lifetime, and how do you miss that dunk? You should have been doing like a literally a backflip and dunking it in off of that thing. So yeah, it was just kind of bizarre, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So I shake my head still to this. Like I said, we were just joking about. I was joking about it because I just can't. I'm baffled by it, and you guys know I love stuff like this, and I'm just kind of blown away by that missed opportunity and blown away by our losses too, because of that missed opportunity, they just screwed up completely. So yeah, it did suck right there. Deep Soul Diving and Joseph Levy and everybody else, and definitely don't like to see that happen often. And again, we should all email the company and say, what the hell were you guys doing? Like, were you guys out to the bar? Like, you didn't see the Trump speaking about this, or I just don't understand what happened. Anyway, well, we could talk about it all night. SBET right there again, not looking too bad. So let's see, it didn't go sideways. That shit went straight to. I know it didn't even go sideways. It just went like completely to hell. Completely. I mean, it was just like anytime you miss an opportunity like that, you're going to go straight to hell. And again, look at it. Look at that 20 was crawling up so nice right there. I can pull it up on here as well, and we'll talk about for another minute. But you can see it was crawling up. It was perfect right there. And as soon as they missed the opportunity, look how it made that loop. And that's what kind of said. That's why I got out of it down here. I did. I sold it like all the way down here at like I think it was 70 cents. 71, 70, something 72. It was right around there. I know that. And then I said, watch, it's going to bounce back on Monday or whatever, but whatever. I can't risk it because this thing doesn't look great. And no, it just kept on going because, again, they could have came out over the weekend, guys, and said on Monday, like, oh, yeah, we forgot to, we totally made a mistake and we meant to put this press release out. They could have just said some bullshit and still put the press release out on Monday. And I bet you it would have rebounded like crazy. So I still don't get it, guys. It's mind boggling. But anyway, like I said, we could talk about it all night long just because it's one of the big, we might have to use that as an example forever. IVF, we might not ever forget about it just because it was so bad. And it's just a good example of why things can happen like that. And IMRX, they did the same thing to us recently. Yeah, they did. No PR while insiders wanted to scoop up cheaper shares, and it was like real scammy, not looking out for their own shareholders. So yeah, perk of small positions is that they are easy to average down. That is true there, deep soul diving. And that's why, again, allocation is everything, guys. And I know Ben went a little heavier than he likes to. He broke his own rules, and I guess we talked about who was the other dude that recently did it. What the heck? I always forget his name. The warrior trading guy. I just always forget his name. He's a man. I wish I could remember that guy's name. I really can't remember his name. I'm not bad, but he's a good dude. So yeah, he had recently said the same thing. He broke his rules and he had a huge loss too. What was it, like 180K or something crazy? Well, I can't think of his name. I know you guys know his name, but anyway, Ross something. I just can't. I can't think of it. But yeah, it's Ross Cameron. Thank you. I was like right there. I just couldn't think of it. And he lost 172K. Yeah, so he said he broke his trading, what he does. Ross Cameron, thank you. And yeah, he broke his rules, and that's what happens. And Ben did the same thing. I kind of did the same thing, guys. And the chart looked great. I base it all off of that. But again, I was banking really. I mean, the chart looked good. I showed you where it looked good, and I was banking that it was going to go and they were going to do what they needed to do and make that thing fly and make the chart complete itself. So that's where it went wrong. And again, that's why I say that at any point it can go wrong. I posted things out, and 10 minutes later they pull back, but that was just a crazy case of just the company just screwing up completely. So anyway, that is what happened, and we'll keep on the IVF. I'll write it down. I'll make sure that when you look at it, I'll let you guys know exactly where the bottom is. That's for sure. So yeah, I'll keep it on the list. We'll track it down, of course, and I'll let you guys know. And we'll see. I'll watch it tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, here, let me put it right here, and I can watch it first thing, and we'll see if it can get this roll off finally and try to get rolling. You can see it hitting the MACD. Maybe it does try to pull itself, and that's a bottom like candle right there. So yeah, we'll watch it tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted on that, and we will hope that it can at least curl back up and get to the right way again. Let's put it that way. So that was a disaster. I know that, and we were, like I said, we were talking about it. I think it was yesterday, this morning, and kind of making a joke about how bad it was. So it was not good for us. I know that. So anyway, there you are with that and IVF. And here we go. We'll get rolling with the rest of them. UPXI, that pulled back again today. And again, this one's going to get rocking and rolling. Crypto does. So he came all the way down. That could be the bottom right there. Look at it getting set up. So I think it does have a little setup period, but another one just like BMNR and SBET right there. It's going to be a really good one. And Orbs, another pullback day right there. I thought this thing was actually going to start working its way up. It did pull back. And again, just watch for all these dip situations, guys. That's what this is all about right here. Great dips, and we'll definitely be watching for him. And you have a good night there, Joseph Levy. He's going to listen to the rest of the show later, and he's getting to the pool table. So good luck with your pool match there, Joseph Levy, and we'll catch you later on. And appreciate you always hanging out, of course. So good luck this evening, and we will talk to you later. And yeah, Orbs not looking too bad on that pullback. And CRM, I mean, we should have ran with Salesforce. We were saying it looked good, and That's probably why it looks so good because it ran up over 3.5% today. So there you are with CRM, and it could even keep the momentum because look at that thing right there with the 20 and 50 rolling up. That's what IVF was supposed to do, guys. Obviously, Salesforce did the right thing, and IVF didn't. So that's what you're looking at right there. But Salesforce did look pretty good, and as you can see going right there, it kind of pulled back. It opened up and then just kind of flattened out, went nutty right there, and then it kind of went flat for the rest of the day, which I would assume it's going to want to run up a little bit more tomorrow. But again, that's just based off the chart and kind of assuming it does. We'll have to look at it right there, and we'll see. But yeah, looking good for Salesforce, and that is CRM in that circle right here. Pulling back, but I think you're going to get this setting up. It does have earnings coming up. It does have that little bit of pullback. And again, that could be the bottom. Maybe we dip around down here and get set up. So we're keeping an eye on it. And I don't think that I honestly think the market could be pulling back a little bit tomorrow, and I showed you already why, and we'll go through it again. And look at Bath and Body Works, guys. I think this is like a really safe one right here that we could probably play. And yeah, it's not going to pop through the roof, but I think you're going to get some good movement on the way up here. So just something to keep in mind. Maybe put it in your long-term account, and obviously it'll crawl up there for the holiday season. But you can see it, and we picked it out before it even started running. We even saw it right here down on the bottom right there at like 25. So yeah, I think Bath and Body Works is definitely a good one right there that we should keep an eye on. It's a great setup, but also, like I said, it's one that's going to just run for this holiday season. So that's what BBWI looks like. And LightPath right here, it was what was it doing? Well, then it run up this morning and pulled right back there. I think that's what it did, if I remember correctly. It dipped down and it ran up right there, and then it started to pull back. So yeah, LightPath, and we'll see what that wants to do tomorrow. Another one hitting that 20 right there, and we'll see. I actually had sold my options on it up, and I'm glad I did up there. I got rid of them like right in the top area. I got kind of lucky, to be honest with you, and it does look like it could pull back a little bit. So we'll be watching that LPTH and Chipotle right here, guys. Remember we were saying it looks good. I think Chipotle might be a runner tomorrow, so I think that might be a great play for tomorrow. CMG. And we've been talking about it as earnings coming up right there, right before Halloween, the 29th. That's next week. So, yeah, I do think Chipotle looking good. And I don't, like I was saying, I don't really like the menu or the food, but the chart looks good right there. So keep an eye on CMG. That looks nice in the morning. And let's see remember this one, this Analog Devices? It was just kind of slowly running up again today. And it's still up there. It has a little support under it now. So we can look at it in the morning. It was pretty a safe play. I might be trying to pull back. We'll see. I don't know. It ran up and it does have that healthy pullback, but it could pull back a little bit more. But yeah, that was a nice, easy run up that we saw, and it just popped out on the scanner. I put some other ones on the scanner and changed it around today. So we'll show you them. And that PAL right here was pulling back a little bit. And we'll have to see. That one looks like it's a little healthy and kind of wants to run up a little bit more. So I'll take a look at PAL and see what it wants to do in the morning. So yeah, let's write that one down, POWL. And let's keep on cruising right here. And there's really no games on. It's just our normal like hockey games and whatever else is going on right now. Is basketball even in season, or is it just the preseason? I'm not even sure. I think they're in season, right? Rockets and Thunder are on. I'm not even sure, to be complete. Yeah, 0-0. Is it like the opening night of basketball? Could be. I'm not even sure. I watch basketball, but I don't follow it as much. I do watch hockey, and there's a bunch of hockey games on. But yeah, the MLB, the Dodgers game, and congratulations, Blue Jays fans. That was a crazy game last night. Glad we hopped off to watch that thing because that was a wild one. And your Blue Jays did win. They're going to the World Series, and they're playing the Dodgers. And that series starts on Friday evening. So we will not be on for the beginning, but we'll get to enjoy it. And then we'll watch and see. I didn't even check when the other games are, but there'll be some next week or Sunday night possibly. So there you go, Doge Mama 9. Your Dodgers are playing the Blue Jays. That's going to be a pretty blue World Series right there, I must say. But anyway, there's Powell right there. And again, that one could run up there. How about HUM, guys? We've been talking about this. Why weren't we playing this thing? Look at that thing. Now it's going to hit some resistance and possibly work its way down a little bit. But Luis Rodriguez gave us this the other day. And look at it. I mean, it still looks pretty good to try to keep some momentum. So that's another one we have to keep an eye on. What about UPS we were talking about? And that's running up. So I'd put all these on like the night note too. And we got to just stick to that thing and rock and roll with these. Look at that. That's a beauty right there. Up over $1. Piece of cake, guys. So there you go. Michael Anthony, how are you? DJT went sideways, like wanting to go higher, and you must go get something to eat. Well, you go get something to eat, Michael Anthony, and you join us back after you fill up your belly right there. How's that? And yeah, your DJT. Actually, we mentioned you this morning. I think it was earlier because it was pulling back right there. So let's see. It is coming down. It is going to be a nice setup, Michael Anthony. I can't argue with that. It's just not ready yet, and neither are the rest of them guys. So yeah, I would say that's going to be getting set up. DraftKings, they had some news, and then it popped in the after hours. What the heck they even say? Does it say aligning to compete with Polymarket? I know they did something. I forget what the heck it was to launch their prediction market platforms or whatever. So there you go, Laptop Travel. Yeah, they definitely did something there. Or Luis Rodriguez was mentioned in that one. So I did see that. Let's see what else is going on here. So yeah, that HUM, UPS, both looking good right there. And I'm telling you, we were talking about both of them, saying they looked great, and they might be momentum plays before or even setups, and we loved them. And there you go. They both ran up. That's why we got to stick to the setups. And even if one day they pull back, we know they're going to be good. I'll even tell you which one. We'll get back to YYAI. I think Doge Mama wants to see that one. But Microsoft pulled back even more in the after hours. I'll tell you what, that was looking pretty good today. And honestly, even with that pullback right there, it's not looking bad. And yeah, I think Microsoft, they have something going on. I've been saying it. And anytime it gets set up like that, and then you had that big correction, that big dip right there, it kind of messed it all up. But I think it's getting raw. Look at that thing trying to curl up right there. So I would say Microsoft is not looking bad. And we'll look at it as we go through the other ones. But look, that is like going on doji candles and trying to curl up really hard. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one, obviously. And let's go through our YYAI right here. It did have a little bit of pullback. I thought it was going to actually curl up some. It did actually curl up on the MACD, but the price did. And that looks like it bottomed out right there, Doge Mama 9 and everybody else. So I'd be paying attention to this guy tomorrow because I thought it was looking pretty good right there. I did not catch the dip on it. I was actually watching it. What time did it pull back? I was looking at it. It opened up, it came down, then it dipped down there right there, and then it got set up and ran in the after hours. So that's when it started to run up. And yeah, it could be getting ready for tomorrow. Look at it. It ran up right at like 6 o'clock. I didn't even see it move that much because I wasn't watching right there. So you did get set up. And again, we were talking about it did dip down today, but I do like it right there, YYAI. So that could be a really good one for tomorrow and get curled up. We've been tracking it down right there. And again, I still don't even mind something like that, guys. When you know it's going to be rolling up right here and you just watch it curl back down like that, and then it jumps up to like 10 cents and it's right here, you're still at the bottom. And if it wants to get running, look, it'll get up to like 13, 14 cents, and you're, again, down in 10-cent land, 11 cents. So you're perfectly good right there. And that's what you want to see. You don't want to be getting into it, why it's dipping down. Remember, we kind of weren't really hopped up on it just yet. And I was saying, let me just watch it till it curls up, and then we hit it right there. So that's what we do, and we try to time them out pretty well as well. And obviously, you see it pull back today. I do think that's your bottom right there, and it does get cruising up tomorrow. So definitely one to keep an eye on, that's for sure. Let's look at that EPWK. That had one of them big curl ups as well in the bottom. And let's see about this one tomorrow as well. That could be a little bottom look. I'll take a look. Maybe it wants to bounce off the MACD, come down a little more. So let me take a better look at that one in the morning. But YYAI looking pretty good right there. And remember that BCPC? I put that on the list the other day, and that was based off the chart. And bam, I don't know why we're not playing these ones. that we absolutely say are looking great, and I see them on my scanner or wherever if you guys see them, and then boom, they get cruising. So we got to really start playing them. And again, I tried to get a little more organized. I'll get a little more organized this weekend, and we'll make sure we're playing the best opportunities and the easy setups that are absolutely running. Like I said, we've seen a lot of them right there, and you don't really have to day trade them. You can just get in them and play them out for like a week or two, and know that they're going to run. And there's been a few of them. UPS was one of them right here. We caught that one early. HUM, that would have been a beauty. That one's been running up right there. CMG starting, and that one has been looking good right there. So again, we got to hit these guys and really get into them and knock them out. Coca-Cola was up today too as well. That did jump up on its earnings. They beat their Q3 earnings and revenue estimates, raised its free cash flow guidance, and what the heck's that say? Reaffirms full year outlook, announces 2.6 billion sale of 75% stake in Coca-Cola Beverages Africa, and opens one of the largest U.S. dairy plants to expand Fairlife milk business, sending shares up over 4% on strong consumer demand. I'll tell you what, that Fairlife milk, I didn't realize Coca-Cola owned it now, but that stuff isn't too bad, to be completely honest with you. It's like really filtered or whatever, and it's supposed to be higher in protein. It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's a little more expensive, but it is definitely pretty decent milk, Fairlife. So I didn't even realize that Coca-Cola owned it. I never even looked. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, Coca-Cola was up today. And let's see what Heinz Ketchup was doing, or Kraft Heinz, whatever it's called. It was just bouncing around right there. They have earnings. I think that's a little healthy pullback, so keep an eye on Kraft. And this NIXX Stock Authority was looking at it. I told you this the other day, and this thing is getting set up, guys. This thing could be a nice little runner right here, NIXX. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. It does look like it's trying to get set up right there. So I will watch it in the morning. Let me jot it down right here. NIXX. I'll look at that in the morning. I think that's going to roll off right there. You can see it trying to right there. Almost looks like that's delayed a little bit, but it's perfectly fine. It's going to roll off. You can see it's going to happen, and that thing could get running. So we'll keep an eye on it. It is a USA company, Staffing and Employment. I'm not really that familiar with it, to be honest with you, unless it was called something else before. And I don't really remember. That says recruiter.com, but that wasn't what I was thinking of. So anyway, that's NIXX. And yeah, I'm going to be watching that. LDI actually pulled back a little more than I thought it would today. I actually said in the Discord this morning, it would probably have some healthy pullback. I was expecting it too. It did pull back a little more. It doesn't look bad, though, to be honest. I just didn't think it was going to pull back as much. But anyway, it still looks pretty good right there and should still get cruising. Maybe tomorrow even get ripping up there. So we can watch LDI as well tomorrow. And SenesTech took a nice dip right here. I'm not sure exactly what happened today, but it did dip down. It didn't dip down as low as its bottom right there, 363. So we'll see. This one's going to get set up, and maybe it's just going to wait for this trend line. So you have a few days or next week right there, and then that one's going to be popping off. So we'll be watching for that SenesTech to get in the right spot. I liked Rocket Lab, and it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I thought Rocket Lab was actually going to pop off today, but I guess it had other plans. Maybe it's just waiting for that 20. It looked like it wanted to pop right off of that trend line. As you can see, I guess it got stalled up on the MACD line right there. So Rocket Lab, I would keep, or Rocket Companies, not Rocket Lab. It's Rocket Mortgage. I'm sorry. RKT, Rocket Companies. And yeah, I think this is going to get through, get into that channel and run up. So I do think RKT is going to be getting set up right there. It does look like it wants to. I had mentioned it yesterday in a few days, so you know that'll probably be getting set up relatively soon. And let's take a look and see. Well, we already been talking about BYND right there, and this one could be another monster in the morning, guys. So we'll be watching this early to see how it works out. I might even get up early just to check it out to see, because if it's going to be a big runner, like I said, I've already played it a few times. It's been pretty successful. So I don't mind doing it again, that's for sure. And I'm not worrying about catching it from the bottom to the top. I'll just get a piece of the action, because your account will still grow just like that. So, yeah, I've seen Six Flags. Travis Kelce's a part of an investment group trying to revive Six Flags. it did fly at the end of the day. Good old fun right there. And it did pop up there. So, yeah, there you go. They had some big news. Travis Kelsey joins Investor Group to take 9% stake. And that would be huge just because of the sole fact that, Taylor Swift would probably get involved as well because they're obviously engaged and or married now. I don't even know. But anyway, that would probably be pretty big, and they could, I mean, all she has to do is do a concert at Six Flags, and that thing's going to be huge. So I'm just saying it could be a big thing for it. Obviously, it liked the news right there for FUN. We were looking at that at the end of the day. And here we go. It's Cigna was another one that had looked good, and honestly, it looks pretty good for tomorrow. It could be another one that could try to run up right there, CI. So keep an eye on that one. Cigna right there. Oscar was looking good today. Remember, we looked at it last night, and there you go. It was popping up there. And that looks like it could keep that momentum right there for OSCR. So keep an eye on that one. Lulu, we were talking about these apparel ones, and again, the market's just rotating. We should have definitely played this one, and it looks like Lulu is going to continue there tomorrow. So keep an eye on LU. I know Nike was looking good because I was looking at that and some other apparel ones. So yeah, look at Nike, not looking bad right there, but Lulu definitely looking decent. It was popping up there today. And let's look at TONX. It did pull back a little bit, but I'll tell you what, that thing does look pretty good right there. It looks like some healthy pullback and something big's going to be happening with that TONX. So definitely keep your eyes on this one tomorrow. We'll see if it really wants to get through that MACD, but it does look pretty good down there, and we'll be watching it tomorrow. And this ASST, we're going to watch this bad boy because this is about to get set up right here. You can see that curling up, and we'll see if it wants to get ripping right there. So that one's been way down. I just typed in ASS. That was pretty funny. ASST right there. But yeah, look at it. It looks like it's trying to get through. Let's make sure. I mean, if it gets through, it's going to be a runner. So watch that in the morning, guys, to see if it does want to run up there. And let's keep on cruising along. AEO, another American Eagle, was looking really good right there. It was running up another apparel one. And look at that setup, guys. That's a beautiful setup right there. That's what we look for. So, yeah, that's what we should be trying to look at right there, American Eagle, and know that it's going to run in the next week or so. So that's what you're looking at with AEO. I would say that's a good one and definitely one that we want to look at for tomorrow. And again, another great setup. How about Home Depot and Lowe's? We talked about them the other day, looking great. They popped up today. They pulled back a little yesterday. That should have been a great opportunity. And there you go. Look at these things looking really good as well for Home Depot HD. And Lowe's right here too, LOW. And look at that. They're just moving up, looking great. I know somebody posted it, Luis Rodriguez. I just saw that HD and Lowe's, and yeah, they look real good. I'd put another one on there that was I forget which one it is, but it's looking. I know the Swim is kind of like a building product one, and that was looking pretty good as well. And that was the next one. Actually, there's another one that I put on. I think it was a building one. We'll look at it and see. But yeah, they look pretty good right there. And there's that Swim. It looks like it could swim up a little more. Let's look at that. BTGD, that staked 100% Bitcoin and gold. It's going to pull back. This is what I was talking about, guys. Wasn't I saying this last night? What happens when Bitcoin runs up and gold goes crushing down? And so, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. And now you see that chart's pulling back. That's why I never understood it. It's like the yin and the yang right there. They usually don't run in tandem, both up in the air like gold has been running. So it kind of was odd to me. And of course, it was a good opportunity. Why gold was running up, but now that gold had spiked up and went crazy, you're going to see some pullback. So just an interesting one right there. That SOLZ trying to bottom out and tries to look better. As you can see, that's looking pretty good. And SOLT is your 2-time Solana and not looking bad right there. HSDT is called the Solana Company, and that took a nice dip. That could be a great opportunity way down there. We'll watch that get set up right there. And then there's this stake right here, Soul Strategies, STKE. And that one looked like it was trying to bottom out. So keep an eye on that one. It gets back up there to the 419, 420 area. It's only in the 350s. So it'll get back up. Just watch for any dips. but when it gets up there, it'll want to try to run. TNXP, somebody, was it Jennifer Lee mentioned this last night? Somebody mentioned this, I forget who, but it is getting set up right here and has a lot of room to run, that's for sure. So you keep an eye on that biotech one. Some biotechs have been running up there. And how about Adobe right here? If I type it in correctly, you'll see ADBE, and that thing is running up and could keep that momentum in the morning. So yeah, Adobe not looking bad right there. So keep an eye on ADBE for some momentum. And you can see your 20. It does look like it's doing it right. So there you go. Did we go over JNUG? What happened? Honestly, Robin, I just think it's just the gold sector just got completely oversold right there at that top. And you're just seeing some good old pullback right here, to be completely honest with you. Once it started, it was trying to keep itself up yesterday, and it had that weird doji look, and you never know. Remember, I said it was a coin flip. It looked like it could go either way, and I know I posted that in the night note. I said, let me see how this bad boy opens, and it did. It started to open down, and then it just kept on going down. I mean, it was drastic too, how much it was dipping down there. As you can see, went down almost $40 at one point. So yeah, it was definitely pulling back. Now you got your 50 down here, and we'll see if it can get hung up. But like I was saying, when you're up here like this for that long, I mean, that I would think was the top right there, and then it got extended a little bit more, and then it just kind of broke it. So you bought a bunch at that low today. Just hope it turns around. Could Robin, I'm not gonna lie, could come down a little more. Watch it at 137, then we'll see if it wants to bounce back. Silver came down big time too, and I was saying in the night note, let me watch and see what they want to do, because they didn't look that great to me yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, I wasn't going to guarantee they were pulling back, but as they tried to hook up, but they did. They looked like they had a pullback, and now they look like they're going to stay down with that 20 over top of them. So I do think that, again, I just think you're seeing the sectors get rotated around. Them computer hardware, quantum ones, we knew they were super extended. Gold was way up there. Silver. There's certain things that just get completely overextended, and they've been running like meme stocks. That's not normal, guys. That's why I say when they get into the top, my red flags go off. And I know everybody just wants them to keep going higher and higher forever. And that's why I say they're going to pull back, especially when you get into that territory up there and you see these things up at the top. I mean, the fact that it ran up this much and then came out and ran up again and then did it again, that's my red flag. And I know I was saying, especially with these other ones, like I said, we were talking about it earlier with QBTS, and that was that D wave. And again, guys, look at it. 1, 2. And then remember, I said the guys are super extended right there. Be locking in your profits, because it's bound to come down. And then you saw what happened. It comes down pretty good. It comes down really fast. And I know I've talked about it. Minerals as well. Yeah, that what the heck is it? Nuclear today went way down right there. That one got crushed down there. And a lot of other mineral ones also, but they were run up so much, guys. So you can only have them running up so much for so long, and then they actually have to be dipping down. So yeah, you missed the whole rare earths raging run, and it's all good. Deep soul diving again. Apparel's about to do it. They're going to get running, and the sectors are just changing around. You see money changing hands, changing sectors and industries, and it's totally normal, guys. That's what these hedge funds do, and these bots that trade and everything. They seek out these lines like this, and when they get, and again, it's all algorithm based. So when they get up like this and they get totally overextended and they're way up there like that, all it takes is a couple bots to go, all right, this thing's at the top. We have to lock in profits. And the next thing you know, it just starts making a trigger effect. And then because the algorithms start getting picked up and you can't compete with these bots. So then you'll have a dip down. And then all of a sudden, they try to keep it up there. Maybe they have a couple quick buys right there yesterday, try to run it up a little bit. And then the next thing you know, it comes crashing back down because it's really not sustainable up there. And it doesn't have anything to really hold it up. So now it's really pulling back, and we might come down to see the 50, and we'll even see if it holds up there. So yeah, it's just the way the charts work. And that's why I base things off of the charts. And again, you can, not that I watch the media or anything, but you can just know that they were all over gold and talking about it's running to its all-time highs and it's going to do this and it's going to do that. And once they start doing that stuff, guys, be careful once the mainstream media gets involved, and every person that is like, yo, should we be buying gold right now? You're like, holy shit, I should be selling gold right now as soon as all these people start asking. But yeah, I could tell with the quantum ones and all them, it was just way up there. And I don't think that you're seeing a correction by no means, to be completely honest with you. I just think you're just seeing a normal chart flow, and people don't understand because it was like gold, 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 and it had this huge run, and then it gets up to the top, and people don't understand that it's going to have this big pullback, and they're just like, oh, what happened? I just bought gold, and it was at it was at the top, guys. You're buying it at the top up here after it ran like you've never seen before, and so that's what's going to happen. And I mean, look at it. It's you have to go back here into like for JNUG, and this was probably reverse split a couple times. But look, you have to go back a decade ago to see gold prices all the way up again like that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. And they weren't even close. I mean, look at it. It's all the way down here compared to where it was a decade ago. And obviously, like I said, you probably had a few reverse splits go through there and all that good stuff. So it's not really that comparable, but yeah, anytime you see that kind of run up and they're in the top, and this is what I talk about being in the top, that's why I like them in the bottom. You have a better chance. Yeah, they can still pull back, but they're not going to usually crash like this and like really have a big correction as gold and these quantums and other guys are. So that's all that I see happening. And I just see a rotation going on. That's about it. RTX, we named this one yesterday, Aerospace and Defense. It had earnings, said it looked good going into the earnings. Did we not? And there you go. I'd say that looked pretty good into the earnings. And that's why I'm saying we got to really go with these guys and pick them out perfectly like that and say, all right, that thing's getting blasted off. And it certainly did today. So RTX was a good one. I don't know how great it's going to be tomorrow, but it was definitely a great one for today. That's for sure. And what is this one? TT, Train Technology. Here's the other building product one. I knew there was another one. This one looks really good, guys. TT right here. So keep an eye on Train Technologies, Laptop Travel and Crew, because that could be a nice little momentum play for tomorrow. TT, and again, look at that curling up, building products or whatever, and building products and equipment, that seems to be pretty popular right now as well. And then, like I said, just kind of a shift of what you're seeing. APOG, that one could be ripping there, and a couple good. Look at this car one, that one looks pretty good right there. So yeah, I cruised through earlier, FBIN. There's a bunch of them setting up. So again, here's another sector right here. Is what the heck's it even called? Building products and equipment. Let me write that down. So they're building products and equipment. Let me jot that down here so I don't forget, so I can roll right through. Building products. All right. Cool. And what is that one? TT will get us there. That's for sure. So yeah, what one did I just open up? Car right here. CARR. Look at that thing right there. And that has earnings coming up. That should be running up a little bit more as well. So you can keep an eye on that. It was up over $2 today. CARR. So yeah, like I said, there's some good ones right there. And obviously TT looking good. ACN. What is that up to? That looks pretty good. It was curling up. It does have a little resistance right there, but could obviously get right through. So, yeah, if it gets to that 252, that thing's going to run as well. So keep an eye on that. And this is Sherwin-Williams, guys. This is another building product one. It's special chemicals, but obviously it's paint. And, yeah, that looks really good, too, going into its earnings. Look at that, October 28th. So might want to keep an eye on Sherwin-Williams right there. SHW. Holy cow, faking myself out. But SHW right there. Good old Sherwin-Williams. I'd say that looks pretty nice. So keep an eye on that. How about GM today? Went nutty. What was the news on GM? I'm not even sure. Hold on. It says some General Motors stock jumps over 15% for the biggest single day gain in 6 years after much better than expected Q3 earnings, raised full year and 2025 outlooks, updated guidance, tariff relief, strong truck sales, declared quarterly dividend, and announced, what's that say? Wind down of BrightDrop electric van business. So yeah, just wind down all that electric shit because it doesn't even work. I've said it before, and it doesn't even make sense. Yeah, you can just keep Tesla as your EV. They know how to do it well. Everybody else just stop doing these EV things. The batteries cost too much. It doesn't even make sense to anybody. It doesn't make sense to me. Let's put it that way. So there you go. General Motors finally getting the memo too, and then their stock jumps up real big. So there you go. We can keep an eye on GM right there tomorrow. Look at that spike up, and they haven't seen anything. And remember, wasn't everybody saying that the tariffs were going to hurt the motor industry, the car industry, the auto manufacturers? So I guess that's not really hurting so much either right there. So there you go with that. And let's see what's going on. So yeah, that's our General Motors. And let me take a look and see MGM, the casino one. Some of these were looking pretty decent. Look at MGM curling up. They have earnings coming up as well. So some of these earnings might be good, or they just want to run up going into the earnings. Look at it. It was down, and then it just opened up and ran up today, and it doesn't look too bad to continue itself for MGM right there. And not only GM looking good, but popping M in front of it, and MGM's looking pretty good, like I said. And some of these casino ones weren't looking too bad. Bowie's was running up, wasn't that Bowie's? Yeah. Boyd wouldn't look too bad right there. That took a nice dip. Canterbury, I'm not sure what the heck that is, but CZR was looking good. That's Caesars right there. That looks real good. Jot that down for tomorrow. CZR. I don't even CZR. There you go. I can't write. I can't read. I'm a mess, guys. Anyway, CZR. Let's see right here. And yeah, look at that thing again. I mean, there's setups that we just absolutely love, guys. So definitely going to keep an eye on CZR right there. That's a beauty. And let's see, a couple others look good. FLL and LVS, Las Vegas Sands. So yeah, maybe the people are visiting Vegas. That Penn Casino Resorts and Entertainment, whatever the heck it's called, is looking pretty good as well. And Marriott Vacations, Wynn is looking all right there, but some of the others look pretty good. So there you go. And yeah, that's some of the casinos. They're looking pretty good as well. So let me jot that down. Casinos. And there you go. And apparel. So yeah, we have a couple good sectors going on that are just kind of scouting away from, the quantum, the gold ones, and them guys. So rare earths and things of that nature. So just getting a little, move around in the market. Whirlpool right here. I was trying to remember what the heck WHR was, but that's another one looks real good for tomorrow. So keep an eye on that right there. WHR. Let me see. And yeah, look at that thing. So yeah, we definitely like that as well for WHR. So keep an eye on that one there. So a couple good ones put on the list for you guys, and I think they're going to be solid ones. And let's keep cruising right here. We'll go through our laptop travel list and our Jolie's Jams real quick and see what's going on with them. And of course, we'll go through and see what's going on and what you guys want to look at, so we won't miss anything, and we'll catch everything. And here we go at our Jolie's Jams. RYM, good old rhythm, still pulling back there. Let it pull back a little bit. BLNK, whoop, I got to type it in first. And there we go for Blink. And that thing is pulling back. Let that pull back as well. Sezzle right here is pulling back a hair. I think Sezzle's getting set up. This Sterling, watch it tomorrow, because every time it dips down, it seems to want to bounce right back up. It usually does. Rivian was trying to get set up. It is running up there. We do like that setup. Could dip a little bit, but it doesn't look too bad. And Symbiotic just trying to get set up, but could also pull back right there. And there's your Jolie's Jams, and they had all been run up pretty big at one point. They're just pulling back. And again, you got that rotation going on, so you got to make a rotation for the other ones to run, and the money pops into them. So you just have some pullback on certain ones. Let's go through our laptop travel list. I marked a couple because I actually added a few laptop travel. You know what I did? We're kind of early on a lot of them, so I keep an eye. I keep my notes, and I went back and picked out a couple throughout this week that were looking good as well, that I think might be getting set up. So here we go. The first one, APRE, it was just kind of pulling back today. So there you go with that. But BRR, we were talking about it this morning. It had been running up there, not looking bad, and it might try to spike up tomorrow again. So keep an eye on that. CVU, I had mentioned again, that was on the laptop travel list last night, and that is looking really good. So keep an eye on that one there tomorrow. And DTST right here is data storage, and that one has a little resistance up there, but it's curling up in the right direction. So there you go with DTST. And the Fox and G-Sun, they're just in that channel right there. Fox was up today. You can see it has a little resistance, not bad right there. And G-Sun just kind of running around in that channel. So two that aren't too bad right there. That INTJ Intelligent Group looks like it could be bouncing off of that trend line relatively soon. So keep an eye for that one. And let's see, MRNO, that Murano Global Investments, that did look pretty good. And that was hitting that 20. Looks like it's crawling up. So definitely keep your eye on that one as well. And let's see, a couple of the QS and QSI had been pulling back a little bit. SEGG is at lottery.com. And this thing, remember we were just talking about it probably down here. It was coming out of the basement, was it not? And it popped up. It had been looking good. It still looks pretty good right there, guys. So you can keep an eye on SEGG, looking pretty good in that channel. And here we go. Here's a couple from this week, not that one, APUS. This one was trying to get set up. Let's take a look and see what it looks like over here. APUS right now. And it was running up a little bit today. It doesn't look bad. It was trying to crawl up. Maybe it pulled back a little bit in them after hours, 180 right there. And 190, yeah, it definitely pulled back in the after hours and it wasn't showing me. So let me look at this in the morning. I didn't notice that it pulled back. But anyway, it had been looking pretty good there today. TRSG, this Tungray one, this was trying to get set up as well. So keep an eye. It's on that in that channel and not looking bad for TSRG right there, as you can see, trying to curl up. So that was another one we mentioned this week. WVVI, Willamette Valley Vineyard or something like that. And there you go. We looked at it the other day. It's been jumping up a little bit for you, and it's not looking bad. So I'll continue to do this, I think, Laptop Travel. You give us our list, and I'll go through, and then I'll add a couple from our notes that had looked good throughout the week. I kind of go through, and I'll keep a track because I think some of these will work out really well, too, because we go through them, and sometimes we're just a hair early. So BIAF, this is a nice one getting set up. Look at this thing. I know we said it the other day. It had run up. We were looking at it. It's pulling back. Let it get set up again. So, yeah, I think that might be a great idea as well. And Deep Soul Diving, I know Randy was crazy too. It's almost as nutty as Beyond right here, and ran up some more in the after hours. We were watching this thing. It is in the top, but again, this one you might have some momentum on in the morning like Beyond. So you're going to obviously keep an eye on that. I'll go through it in the morning. RANI is what I'm talking about. And it's just been an absolute monster. So we will watch that. Maybe we'll extend a little more momentum out of these things, and we'll see what they look like. But yeah, that looks like it could run up a little bit more there in the morning. And guys, in the morning, Laptop Travel and everyone, be sure to keep an eye on that. Game 1 of the World Series is in Toronto Friday night at 8 p.m. Yes, it is. I think it starts at like 8:10 or something like that is what the old ESPN app had said, or something real close to that, I think. But anyway, yes, it is in Toronto. I didn't even realize it was in Toronto. I forgot what it even said until you just said that. But now I have to look. I believe you for sure. I'm just curious. Yeah, Blue Jays, it's definitely in there. And it's at 8 o'clock. I thought it said 8:10. You're absolutely right, Luis Rodriguez. It's definitely 8 o'clock. My bad. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. In Toronto, 8 o'clock on Friday, we'll all be watching that game 1. And that'll be an exciting one right there. We'll see how that series is. Dodgers and Blue Jays. I'm not sure they ever played in a World Series, considering I think I can't think that they ever did, to be honest with you. But anyway, there you go, Deep Soul Diving. And that is Rainy right there. And it was jumping up some more. And that one's been a monster as well. It's hard for me to chase these guys. And obviously, I like the setups down here. And again, we were talking about Beyond, guys. I went through this thing down here when it was right down here, and I know he did because I remember I broke out the yearly chart, and I even told you that it was way up there 239 during COVID, and we were looking at it, and it hadn't even done a run yet. It was way down here in the 60-cent range. So we definitely did see it, that's for sure. And yeah, we tend to be early. We just got to track them a little bit better, I think, and really catch them and get into them when we know that they're going to be running. That's the main thing. We got to trade them real smart here, and that's what we're going to really focus on and doing the in the Discord. And again, I've been on there. I've been doing pretty well with the live trading. If anyone's been following, and obviously I picked some out. Ben's been picking some out. We've been going back and forth and just kind of doing our thing and letting everybody see and join the action. That's for sure. So if you're not in there, or if you have any questions about the Discord, obviously, shoot me a message and I will clearly help you out and steer you down the right road. That's for sure. And if you have a question about anything, be sure to hit me up. But there you go with your laptop travel list. And I do think that there's a few good ones on there. Let's go ahead and look at our SPY, Mag 7, and all them guys. And again, the SPY was up most of the day, and it did kind of, I don't think it's getting through that MACD. I think you are going to see a little bit of pullback right here. So that's what I'm anticipating to see tomorrow. Let's go through our Mag 7. Apple was trying to run up a little bit. I don't know if that's getting through the MACD. Amazon was looking pretty good today, and that one could run up a little bit more. Google had been pulling back there, and it looks like it could pull back a little bit more. Let me see. Yeah, that looks like it's bouncing. I couldn't really tell. I had to really get to that. Let me see here. That one's kind of going through, but it also looks like, I don't know. It does look like it's going to pull back to me for Google. So we'll keep an eye on it. That's for sure. And Toronto has a beautiful stadium. Yeah, I've never been to that stadium. That's for sure. I have no idea what it looks like. And, but yeah, I'd say Google might have some pullback right there. Meta had been looking pretty good, and it was running up. It's still in that channel right there, still crossed through. So you might have a little run around with Meta and Microsoft. It was looking pretty good. It looks like it pulled back in the after hours. It had been looking really good before that. Has that curl up look too. And again, it did pull back a little bit, but it was down there and popped up today and did look pretty healthy to me. And like I said, you have this big curl up happening right here. So it is not looking bad for Microsoft. Look at it right there. We'll see. Maybe it tries to roll off. It was looking pretty good earlier to try to curl up. We'll be looking at it tomorrow. That's for sure. And that's your MSFT right there. And NVIDIA right here. Let's look at NVIDIA. It was pulling back a little bit. And NVIDIA could have a little bit more setup time as well. And how about Tesla pulling back a little bit. So they have earnings. What is it? Tomorrow their earnings at what time? 420 usually, right? So there you go. Tesla earnings tomorrow, 420. I think the market's waiting for that tomorrow. That's for sure. And we'll be seeing what goes on there. And let's see what's going on with the rest of these guys. AMC right here. Look at that bouncing right off of that trend line. Holy cow. As we had said, I don't think it'll get through. I think maybe you run it up here into the 303 and it bounces back down to get set up. But bounced right off of that trend like we were talking about. GameStop's probably going to do the exact same thing right there, guys. And then Chewy had been pulling back. We'll wait for that to get set up. But Unity, remember what we said? It was starting to look really good right there. I would be keeping an eye on Unity right there. It looks like it could be getting ready to set up. That's for sure. So we will watch Unity. And Netflix took a big beating in the after hours, down $80 right there. And I don't know if they missed their earnings or whatever because Elon was beating on them for a little while there. But anyway, it did try to run up this morning. We know that. It wasn't looking too bad. And now it's way down here, guys. So it's coming down to these trend lines. We'll see how it opens up for Netflix. And 420, I know Elon loves a smoke break before his earnings. So that's what he does. He does a 420 earnings for Tesla. I love it. It's great. And anyway, Netflix, that's not looking so great at the moment. And AVGO is pulling back pretty good. And you might see some of these semiconductors come back down. Again, they might stay bullish. And but you might get a really nice dip down on some of them. I was looking at them today. MU right here was pulling back as well. It could continue to pull back. TSM was pulling back as well, and that could continue. And what about SMCI right there? That one's trying to hold itself up anyway. And AMD, that one took a big dip. We were talking about it this morning. Ben was looking at it, and then all of a sudden took a big dip. And again, right around 10:30, it got down to these bottoms. Some of them were a little bit longer at 10:45, and then they bounced back up, but then it came right back down there. So again, we've been kind of looking at the market and determining when these bottoms are coming in for the market. We've been very accurate. Again, Galaxy this morning, I called it. I mean, you couldn't have pinpointed it any better, guys. Like I said, it literally right here as the minutes were open, it was popping up. I said, guys, it's going to dip because it was our number one play for the morning. And I said, guys, let it pull back. It's going to dip as soon as the market opens. It literally dipped right there, dipped a little more. We jumped into it, and then it ran up to the top. And it was what, 9:36. Like I said, it wasn't even 10 minutes. So yeah, it was a beauty right there. And we've been timing it out. Obviously, you got to be able to look at so many of them, or can only look at so many of them. So you got to pick and choose. But yeah, we've been doing pretty well. I've been doing it with the SPY, the QQQs, and everything every single morning, just seeing exactly what's happening. So we'll continue to do it. I enjoy it right there. So we'll definitely be doing that. And yeah, we'll definitely EONR. Let's see what that's up to. EON resources right here. That's going to get set up. Let me take a look at it tomorrow just to take a. It looks pretty good there, Doge Mama 9. I would say there you go. Keeping an eyes on gas again. So that must be a gas stock, oil and gas. We'll look at some of them. And the shirt looks nice on you, and it's Dodgers blue. Look at that. That's funny. I didn't even think about that, but the World Series, it's all blue in there. And yeah, I do kind of have a blue shirt on for all the World Series guys. Blue Jays, Dodgers fans, all of you. EONR, I'm going to add that to the list for just in the morning. That one is getting set up right there. I do like that look, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. And yeah, oil and gas, let me write that down, because now when I write it down, I actually look at it in the morning. It works out, and then we go through and find the best ones. And again, we're going to be on in the Discords, so if you want to take advantage and see what's going on. Of course, I put the night note out, and Ben puts his morning note, but then we kind of zero in as the market's opening, obviously. So we do our 7 a.m. show and kind of pick everything out as well, but you get a little extra bonus there. EONR looking pretty good. And here we go. Let's see. AMD was pulling back. QCOM had been looking good. Look at it. Ran up a little bit and still looks pretty good, guys. So maybe QCOM could have a little run. Snow didn't look bad either, and that one's trying to run up. So Snow and QCOM could keep a little bit of momentum. PayPal was coming down, wasn't it? No, it was wrong. Oh, yeah, the other day it was dipping down. No, PayPal's trying to curl up. We might want to keep PayPal on our list right here. I remember when it was dipping down the other day, but now it is definitely pulling up there and looking pretty good. Let's keep PayPal on the list too. That looks pretty nice right there. PYPL and Intel. What was that up to today? I don't even remember. Just kind of bouncing around, it looks like. And then, yeah, this one's got to get set back up. So we'll have to keep an eye on Intel. And how about Dell was trying to pop back up there? And we'll see. I don't know if exactly they're ready yet. IBM pulling back. And again, I do think you're going to see some pullback on some of these as well. And how about Palantir? I definitely didn't spell that right, PLTR. And that was pulling back again. Watch for any dip opportunities here. Maybe it doesn't get curled through, but I'm telling you, Palantir will get set up. And Sophie not looking bad. And I do think Sophie's trying to run, so we can definitely keep an eye on Sophie there as well. So let's keep our eyes on that one. And now let's look at Mara and Riot. They were pulling back. Crypto is like kind of, I'd say, pulling back at the moment. I was expecting these to pull back a little sooner, to be completely honest with you. And CleanSpark was coming down. So I do think them ones are going to be coming down right there. And what about Strategy? It was trying to bounce back up. I don't think it's going through the MACD. It could be bouncing around right here, trying to get set up. It does have that 283, and it has this channel all up in here. So yeah, I think it will be bouncing around for another few days there. And Robinhood coming down a little bit, Coinbase as well. And of course, our bull had been pulling back a little, but I do think we're in a great spot down here. Again, be watching these opportunities. I think they're going to be great. And probably in about a month or so, in the middle of November, we're going to be sitting up here around 13. It's going to continue to go up. So you can just buy them ones a little out. Like I said, I'm putting them in some of my long accounts there. And Space right here pulling back. So let that dip down right there. Boeing trying to get set up right here. We'll see. It doesn't look bad. And DJT, we're talking about it, Michael Anthony. And let's see, DJT right here, it's been pulling back. It is going to get set up right there. You can already see it, but it does have a few days in it. Nike looking pretty good, that's for sure. And look at that bad boy getting cruising right there. MCD, good old McDonald's right here. And look at that bad boy, and a little healthy pullback. And I don't think McDonald's looks bad. Disney was up today. Look at that. Surprising me. I'm not going to lie right there. for Disney. It has this good resistance, so we'll see what it wants to do when it gets up there. But Disney playing strong, that's for sure. Not messing around. And how about Oxy right here? And you are right. Oil and gas is getting set up, and ExxonMobil also trying to get set up right there. I agree with you on that. Doge Mama 9. So there you go with them. And our DXYZ right there is pulling back a little bit. And remember what we were talking about, let it pull back a little bit, and we'll try to catch it up again. And that Funware is kind of pulling back again. I don't know how great that's going to be, but there you go. SCVL, what is that? Shoe Carnival. You had mentioned this thing before, and it had pulled back. Actually, looks pretty good right there. SCVL for a good old Shoe Carnival. That does look like it's getting set up. I'll have to put that on the list over here. SCVL right there for good old Shoe Carnival. That does look good. What was the one, guys? Holy cow. ISRG. We mentioned that the other day. I'm not even kidding because I have it written down at the bottom of our notes. ISRG. This thing went buck wild in the after hours, guys. I don't know. We were looking at it, and we were trading it. Ben was trading it, and it looks like it could continue. They had some crazy news. They beat their earnings by like $100 million or something insane. It was wild, guys. And look at this thing. It went to 542. It's all the way up here now. So yeah, it started out right there. We literally looked at it the other day, 2 days ago. What day is it? I'll tell you because I have it written down. 10/19. So whatever today is what, the 21st, right? The 19th was, what day was that? Sunday night, guys. We looked at this thing. Look, it's right there. ISRG. It's right there. Asterisked up right there at the bottom like we had just liked it. And yeah, we were a little early right there. So we looked at it like Sunday night. What was that? That must have been Monday. Today's Tuesday, right? Am I right about that? Yeah, today's Tuesday. So we looked at it. It was looking good, wasn't it? And it jumped up. And then, holy cow, why did we not get into that thing, guys? Wow, that thing went absolutely ballistic right there. I mean, if you would have had an option on that, it would have been pretty big. And yeah, I don't know why. So yeah, we got to start playing these things and really getting into them and really nailing them down because we were definitely early on ISRG. Again, we see everything early. I think we have information overload, and that's why I've been trying to make it a little bit better. But yeah, we missed the boat on that one because we were super early on ISRG. I have to tell Ben about that because we were talking. I didn't even remember. Luis Rodriguez said, "Yo, you literally just mentioned that one and said it looked good." I think I mentioned it yesterday because I went over some of them and said it looked good, and then it obviously looked good, guys. It went nuts. So there you go. Again, we see everything. It's a matter of being able to zero in on them, trading them smart, locking them in right there, and we're getting better each day. So obviously, you can see we try to make improvements. You see things that can get better, and that's what you do. You got to make improvements with everything, and we're constantly doing that, and that's why we try to always do better, and we always do. And so yeah, we got to get better at that stuff. And if you guys want to keep track of things also, I don't care if I say something looks amazing or something and you think it looks pretty good, jot it down and send it over during the show. Write it in the comments or whatever and be like, yeah, you said this thing looked pretty good the other day. Does it still look good? And we'll say, yeah, that still looks great. It's trying to jump up, and we should probably be keeping our eyes on that. We were looking at Beyond before it ever even ran. We looked at that one, ISRG, before it ever even ran down here. So yeah, I'd say we definitely know what's going to be popping at all times, guys. And it's just a matter of trading them, the right ones at the right time, and trading them smart. So we'll get better with that. That's for sure. And that's why we were trying to do it in the Discord a lot more and try to get better. The more you do it, the better you get. So yeah, there you go. And like I said, we'll get crazy with that. So anyway, here let's see what's going on at Beyond and YYAI. We were talking, like I said, watch that there tomorrow, guys. I think that's going to be a pretty good one curling up right there. It looks pretty nice to me. And BYND, we're definitely going to be watching that in the morning. Obviously, you guys were liking my shirt, so I appreciate the feedback right there. And NCPL, we're definitely going to be watching that. That looks really good there tomorrow as well. And that's at Net Capital getting cruising and has some room right now. So keep an eye on that as it's curling up. We were talking about that. ISRG, big winner today. There you go, Luis Rodriguez. I didn't even notice you wrote it. But yeah, we literally were just looking at it, guys. It was huge. And we were super early. So that we should have been all over that one instead of IVF. And we were talking about IVF and how they dropped the bomb, that's for sure. And BYND to float 62.9 million. And what's that? The short interest is 39.59 million. That's pretty wild. So holy cow. And yeah, that could be another short squeeze right there. Google recovered most of its losses in the after hours. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. Some people are talking 13 for BYND, and IVF had secret dilution. They must have had something, that's for sure. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. And no problem. Yeah, we gave Beyond in the Discord describers at 166 that overnight watch list, and yeah, I had it on my. We had it on the night note. We were all over it. Like I said, we were talking about it when it was in like before it ever even ran, guys. We were talking about Beyond. And I know because I should pull it. It was right here. I know because I went through the monthly chart and said that it was setting up looking good. And I even said that it was way up there in COVID and talking about it. And then even talking about the fact that who eats that stuff and it's like fake plant-based food or whatever. And then we were talking about the printed fish as well. So yeah, we were all over all of these early. I'm telling you, we always are. So anyway, Luis Rodriguez, you just hauled a 300-pound treadmill that's been sitting in your basement for 20 years, took the whole thing apart piece by piece and made short order of it. The motor alone weighed over 59 pounds. There you go, Luis Rodriguez. That's the way to free up some space. Now you got a little office area now in your basement. You go set up a little studio, and now you can hop on and do some crazy videos with this, Luis Rodriguez. Now that you just got rid of your 20-year-old treadmill, that's pretty funny. Everyone has if you have a treadmill, it's usually pretty old. Now I have a treadmill, but my wife uses it all the time, and we recently just got it, to be honest with you. But yeah, she uses that thing pretty often, so I can't say that it doesn't get used. It definitely gets used. I had to clear out a big spot for that thing, and I was like, are you going to use this? But she definitely uses it all the time, so I can't argue. And she does like to do the treadmill. She likes to just go out and do walks all the time, but obviously now it gets dark early and it's getting colder, so she'll use the treadmill a lot more. But yeah, she always goes out and does a lot of walks and takes Dougie and stuff like that. So that always good. I try to go too when I'm not working. We were doing walks there for a while. She'd come home and we'd walk around, look at all the Halloween decorations and all that good stuff. We try to do that. It's just been very hectic with all the kids in school, everything going on. You guys know how it goes. So anyway, and let's see what else is going on right here. Let me see. In the business, I'm not even sure what you guys were talking about there, but GALT right here. Let's look. It's looking better. GALT. Yeah, look at that. 530. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Joseph Levy. I might add that over to the list for tomorrow as well. GALT. Looking pretty good, I must say. And let's see what else is going on. It's a very fast paced, the 9 a.m. show on Discord. It certainly is. And again, there's a lot going on right at that time as the market's going to open. Ben kind of goes through, gives you what he's looking at, and then I hop on and join him and Rhett. And again, that's you know, I'm already fast paced, and Ben's pretty much up on my speed. So yeah, we just kind of rattle it off, and we just look at different things. He's going through things, I'm going through things, and I just rattle out what I see real quick. And again, we kind of nail things pretty well, and it's kind of fun. So we have a good time, and obviously we vibe well together, which is half the battle right there. So if you can vibe well together, which me and Ben always do, and so yeah, I think we can really break it down. And obviously, this is a choppy market too. Imagine when the market's running like it should be and normal. You guys know we both crush it that time. So that's why it's a lot of fun, and we'll be definitely keeping up on that and doing it as much as possible. And like I said, as often as in the morning and at night. And we have a good time, and you get some good poppers right there. It's great for everybody. But there you go. There's your GALT. We'll look at that in the morning. Let's see right here. We were talking about IVF, and again, they just dropped the ball completely, and a bomb. They dropped a bomb on their company. General Motors, we were talking about it jumping up there. Halliburton, what are they up to? Good old Halliburton right here, HAL. And that is actually running up. Oil and gas equipment services, not looking bad right there. WBD is Warner Brothers, and that's not looking bad. That's actually curling up pretty nice right there. 3M Company is that jumped up pretty big. That's a conglomerate or whatever. I'm not even sure what these guys even do anymore for 3M. But anyway, it is jumping on. It has that resistance there. We'd have to see in the morning, but that was a pretty good one right there. And that RTX, again, another one. We looked at it yesterday, guys. I literally had it on the list yesterday and said it was looking good going into the earnings. When we know that's going to happen, we should be playing these bad boys, that's for sure. And let's see, the unfortunate piece was that the government relief was for drugs, not IVF in general, but people were willing to hop on any news. Well, you know what? Deep Soul Driving, we had already mentioned that, but yeah, it does benefit IVF. The company IVF actually doesn't even purchase the drugs. They don't do anything, but just that alone, making the drugs cheaper makes it more accessible to more people, which they would have more traffic, so they would actually benefit more. They just actually offer the facilities for people to have and the people actually buy the drugs themselves, and it's super expensive. So yeah, they don't get involved, but if just a sheer thing that they would have more clientele would make that one pop up. They would probably double the revenue that they would be seeing. And that's what we were anticipating. Again, when the president mentions your name, you got to kind of take advantage of that situation. And they clearly didn't, obviously, and it was just a disaster all over for that. So that was IVF, and we had talked about it. But yeah, you were right. They were talking about the drugs, but that company doesn't deal with the drugs, IVF right here, and they just have the facilities, and it would have definitely benefited. And again, I was talking about the chart. It was looking great right there, guys. They should have done the right thing. It would have popped up into the top and probably ran for 2 days, just like you see Beyond doing right here, as this thing just keeps blasting off. It's not even in the top. This one went from the bottom, but again, this thing just keeps getting ripped up there. And that IVF should have did the exact same thing, but they just didn't do it. Adobe, we talked about. How about Toyota Motor right there, Luis Rodriguez? You are the Toyota Motor king. Finally broke over that 200 range, and now you can get rolling back up to 204, it looks like. So there you go with that. 206 in the after hours. I don't see that. Hold on. Let me see. I only see 203 right there, but I'm not sure about that. So it's at it could be at 206 in the extended hours past there. So, all right, that it could be. And there you go. Your price target's 260. So, wow, that's right there. And that's going to be cruising then. And you only took a very small position, only down 150. You might just, oh, wait, that might be that IVF one. Yeah. That one was a bad one right there. We were talking about HUM and Oscar, both looking pretty good. We were talking about them. And let's see what's going on right here. Yeah, I would say we'll see IVF. I'll go over it in the morning. Like I said, it could have a little bounce back, or could be getting set up at least to try to bounce back. And like I said, we'll see exactly when it gets down here. It's in the MACD line. So I'll go over that in the morning for everybody. And let's see what else is going on. That IMRX had done the same thing, and we were talking about that. And yeah, the markets are definitely full of surprises, no doubt about it. We were also talking about how Ross Cameron broke his rules, and then he lost 172K. He's a good dude. Like I said, he has some good videos and some good insight on the market, obviously. So there you go with that. We were talking about that. And Joseph Levy was going to play pool. We were talking about DraftKings being up. And let's see what else is going on here. Let me see what else is happening. DJT, that one sideways. We were talking about that. Hope Michael Anthony went and got something to eat. We'll see if he did come back. DraftKings is also they're trying to compete with Polymarket, so that's going to be interesting. And right at 8 p.m. close, transition in the overnight trading, Beyond spiked up to 482. And I'm telling you, that's why I was telling Ben there to actually, because he actually did have a short position in it. And I was telling you guys, he got it at 481. I'm not even kidding. It was the craziest thing. We were on there live, so you guys could have heard it. And but yeah, he got it right up here, guys. I mean, he hit it right there. It went to 482. He got a 481. But that's why I was saying, I messaged him and said, yo, the thing's looking a little too good right now. You might not want to have that short position open, because that might turn out horrible for you. And I don't want to see that happen. So I shot him a message over, And so yeah, that's what I was talking about. That, and let's see what else. Order DoorDash, and it's a great stock. There you go. What is it? DASH, if I could spell dash. And that was pulling back there today. And there you go. I've literally never used any of this Uber Eats or DoorDash. The only time I ever use it is, I guess, if I'm like traveling around and you got to use it because you're at your hotel. And that's what they tell you. They're like, yeah, just order something and it's easier. So yeah, that's how that is. CMG, I'm telling you, that Chipotle, the stock chart's looking beautiful. I don't like the food, but it is looking good. How about the DNUT, D nut right here is Krispy Kreme donut, and that is looking really good. So let's keep an eye on our donuts right there because they're looking really pretty, I would say. DNUT right there, looking pretty right for tomorrow morning's breakfast. So we will definitely look at that one. Who said that one right there? DNUT. Deep Soul Diving. That's a good one. Starbucks. Let's see if Starbucks is going to go with donuts and with Krispy Kreme. That don't look bad either. Again, restaurant ones, guys, have been looking pretty good. Remember, we were talking about it before. We'll look at cake. That looks good. BJRI. Not sure what it is. And there's cake right there. Look, remember we were talking about it, saying it was looking pretty good. It was up $1 today. And again, that's why when these things pull back and we know the setup's beautiful, we just got to take advantage of them every single time because we were talking. I had that on the night note for yesterday. All these ones, they might have had a little bit of pullback, but they were golden opportunities right there for everybody. So yeah, there you go with that. And let's see. So Starbucks, FDX is FedEx, not looking bad. UPS was running up. We had mentioned both of them the other day, and Home Depot and Lowe's mentioned both of them the other day, and they were running up some more today. So yeah, the money is rotating back into some big caps right there. How are you, Joe Jean? And Coca-Cola, we were talking about that. XHLD is another one that has been seeking dungeon for a way too long. Let's see what they're up to. XHLD right here, 10 holdings. Couldn't think of the name of it. And yeah, that's way down there. We'll have to see what's up with that one and see if it ever wants to come back. We were talking about Six Flags and fun, and it jumped up on the Travis Kelce news as investment group trying to get into that. How about that, Len? Another one, guys. Remember, we were talking about this setting up looking great, and there's your run up right there. So obviously, we got to keep a track and keep an eye on the ones that we say look good because they always run up. And if it isn't the very next day, they run up probably the day after that. So just like that, we're crazy one. ISRG. We looked at it Sunday night. I went over it Monday and it shot up over. I mean, it was absolutely absurd, guys. Over $80 right there. It went nuts today. And we should have been all over it way early. I mean, guys, we could have had it right here. And at 452. And it ran the 542. So yeah, you could have had it almost $90 swing right there in 2 days. And so yeah, we gotta be taking advantage of that stuff. Costco right here, not looking too bad. We'll look at that tomorrow. We went over to JNUG for Robin, and that's a huge dip. And like I said, I just think that they're pulling back. We were talking about it, possibly down to the 50 also with silver. And SBEV, IVVD. I know you were liking that before, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see, that spiked up looking pretty good finally. There you go. And SBEV right here is Splash Beverages. And let's see what they're up to. This one can spike up. Oh, it definitely did right there. This one does spike a lot and has some big spikes sometimes. I've definitely followed this one around, whatever it is, a winery one. And yeah, this one's blasting off right there. I meant to do it in here. What the heck am I doing? Yeah, there you go. And I would say that did pop up right there. SBEV could keep some momentum right there in the morning, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see, RANI, we were talking about that, and it definitely could continue in the morning. So that and beyond. So we will be watching them. And EONR, we were looking at that gas, oil, and gas one right there, Doge Mama 9. And that one I did add to the list over here because it was looking pretty good for EONR. So yeah, donut cake, them ones are looking nice right there. Texas Instruments, we were talking about that on the in the after hours. They had earnings and a blue screen right there, but they did have earnings and then it did dip down pretty hard for TXN. So there you go with that one. That pulled back like Netflix did right at the end. And they both had their earnings. So here was Netflix when it pulled back. What is it? What the heck is Netflix? NFLX. trying to put a T in there. That doesn't work, but you can see right when the market closed right there, Netflix went way down on them earnings. So and Texas TXN did the exact same thing. We were watching that, and it took a big dive on the earnings miss. And that EONR seems to have strong resistance. I'm curious if it will break through. We'll look at it first thing in the morning right there. I have it on the list to look at. So there you go. Ben says Beyond Apes are now targeting air. AIRE. So there you go. And now look at that thing getting cruising right there. Let's take a look at AIRE. And he could be absolutely right. That looks really good there for tomorrow, guys. AIRE. We might be wanting to play that one right there. So good job, Ben. And who said that? Laptop Travel. So yeah, Ben must have posted. I must have not have seen it, but he probably posted it in the Discord. And that does look great right there. AIRE. So that might be the morning play right there, guys, because Beyond and them ones are already played up. And that is looking really good. How are you, Michael Anthony? Did you go get a sandwich or something? What you make the CVL? Let's see. I can't even type CVL. And where's my fingers at? What the heck am I typing? How about like that? CVL. What is it? CVL. I don't even see. Oh, SC. I didn't even see the S there. SC. VL. There we go. That's Shoe Carnival. Oh, didn't we already talk about that? Did I? Yeah, SCVL. I already wrote that down. It was looking pretty good. I never looked at Lyft. I forgot to look at that one. And Lyft looks really good. What's Uber up to? Because Lyft looks really nice right there. Uber not as good, but yeah, Lyft. That looks really good. LYFT, right? LYFT looking nice right there, Michael Anthony. PM dip hard. That CEO was on CNBC. Then shares rallied from the lows. What is that one? PM. Phillips Morris. That was it. We had looked at this not long ago, and that is a pretty nice dip. Let's see PM right here. Philip Morris, it's a tobacco company. Look at that big run around. I probably wouldn't mess with that one right there. Beyond Trade is over traded. I would agree right there. U.S. to announce trade deal with India soon, reducing tariffs from 50% to negative 15, or is that just 15%? India to cut Russian oil imports in return per mint. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez with that news. CBRL hit bottom to start. What? CBRL hit bottom to start to move up. All right. Michael Anthony, CBRL right there. Cracker Barrel. Let's see. You're right. It probably did hit that bottom right there and might start moving up. I would have to agree with you after that disaster. Did they get rid of that stupid CEO? She was a disaster doing all that. But I would say Cracker Barrel not looking bad right there. I will give you that, Michael Anthony. Let me just jot that down. CBRL. And that one, Cracker Barrel, pretty good. DJT, we were talking about it. Looks to be basing to go to 17 to 18. I won't disagree with you. I think it has a little more setup time right there, Michael Anthony, and you will get curled up and rolling. So I won't disagree with that either. HBM, not sure what that is. HBM, Hudbay Minerals. That looks like it's going to be pulling back to 13. I would say right around there. Pretty good assessment right there. And look at when like Shoe Carnival date of earning was in August, and that nothing can't hurt to go higher. Michael Anthony, you're killing me with your and look at that. Look what you wrote. I mean, you read that. I mean, I can't read how it is, and then you write things like that. It makes it impossible. I look at when like SCVL date of earning was in August. That nothing can't hurt to go higher. That's a textbook sentence right there, Michael Anthony. So there you go. And no wonder I can't read anything. I try to deal with Michael Anthony's sentences over here. Anyway, yeah, Shoe Carnival. Let me look at it here. I still try to make sense of what you're even saying. But anyway, yeah, it did have earnings back there in September, right? September 4th, it looked like, was its last earnings. And it did run up, let's say that. I don't know when their earnings are right now. I have no idea, but it does look pretty good. So we'll look at that tomorrow morning. And Deep Soul Diving said he loves fall winter walking. It is nice. I'm not going to disagree with that. It just gets dark so early. That's the problem. And IVF has a novel, cost-effective device. We hope so. It's pretty. It's like I said. That's a crazy one right there. what the heck does that say? Anthropic, Google, and talks on cloud deal where tens of billions, and I'm not even sure who they are. I did read something like that, but I didn't even know what it was. Google up $5 on the news. Is it up in the after hours? Oh yeah, look at that. And I did see something like that. Google and Anthropic in talks for multi-billion-dollar deal, cloud deal, multi-billion-dollar cloud deal, Bloomberg says. So I'm not even sure who they are. Who's Anthropic or whatever? I don't even know how to say it. Anyway, that's that. And so we'll see what happens with that in the morning. So that is looking a little bit better. And yeah, I have no idea what they're even talking. I'm not even sure who that is. But anyway, how are you, Jennifer Lee, right there? PLCE, that is Children's Place. And let's see what it looks like. That's another apparel one and looking pretty good, guys. We might have to jot down Children's Place, PLCE. We should have known to even look at that one when the apparel ones were starting to move. Yeah, I'd say you're on the money with that, Jennifer Lee, right there. I'd say that looks good. Deep Soul Diving can confirm some apes are on air right there. Grammar Police on the way. Deep Soul Diving, that's for sure. We need some help with Michael Anthony, that's for sure. I probably don't have the greatest grammar either. I try, but it's not perfect. But holy cow, you write, and it's so difficult for me. I mean, I tell you, I have difficult problems reading anyway. We all know that. And yeah, when you write like that, I'm just like, huh? I can't even focus. Like I said, I just kind of read words, but then I try to actually process what it says. It just doesn't work. My reading comprehension is gone from getting hit in the head. We know that. It's perfectly fine. Not worried about it, but yeah, I just kind of read words, and then when they don't flow right, and then I'm trying to figure out, it just is a disaster in my brain. My brain is like, just give up now. We can't figure it out, and it's just crazy to me. But anyway, Michael Anthony, it is always you must have been editing shrooms. That is funny, on shrooms probably. But yeah, Michael Anthony, we love you, and he keeps it entertaining, that's for sure. Anthropic is an AI creator of Claude. Oh, okay. They are the creator of Claude. I didn't even realize that. Mushroom burger for dinner for Michael Anthony. I think so. I think he had like a entire eighth of them, and then he comes on the show and starts writing crazy stuff for us to try to decipher. I don't really know, but anyway, like I said, I think he just talks into the phone and doesn't ever look at it, and it just is all crazy. But whatever, we enjoy Michael Anthony. He's great. And yeah, we'll try to decipher what he says. Sometimes it's a little tough there, Michael Anthony. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, there you go, everybody. Let's see what else is going on. If we missed anything, we did go through the news in the beginning. Gold suffered the big drop. We were already talking about that. Netflix dropped down as well. So nothing real crazy there. We did go through crypto. And again, it is just getting set up, guys. I don't think it's anything bad down here. It had some nice dips, and it's going to pull back a little bit. We had these big dips. Watch, maybe Friday we'll have another nice dip. Who the heck knows? But again, it is getting set up. I think in another couple weeks, we'll get rocking and rolling for the end of the year. And we never looked at this yet. And it says November 7th now. I was going to say it was at November 15th. So I had to reload the page because I was going to say it was just at November 15th when I was out in the trading shed. November 14th. And this November 16th jumped way up there. Remember, we were looking at these things at October 31st through the 3rd. That light blue one or the dark blue one was looking pretty good. The light blue one's November 4th through the 7th. That one's running up now. They're all kind of running up, trying to chase that. And we did come back down. And remember, I talked about this, how they get there and then they bounce back. Well, we saw that for sure. It looked like it might try to dip down, but they just had that bounce play. And we're still going to be towards November 16th, it looks like. So I guess they're not going to figure that out anytime soon. But we are going to figure out that we're getting a rate cut right here because it's damn near 100%. And there you go. What is it at? 96%. And even in December, guys, we're getting a rate cut. Look at that thing way up there. So I did tell you guys that was going to happen. And here you go. Here's your 25-point decrease for January already. And that's getting cruising. So what did I tell you? As soon as the government shutdown would happen, Trump had all the power and rate cuts would be boom, ba boom, ba boom. You were definitely seeing rate cuts. It was an absolute 100% guarantee. And I know people thought I was crazy. But again, you got to understand how these markets work. They don't have any kind of data to go by. And they were already saying that they were lagging behind and they were kind of questioning their decisions. If they were already questioning their decisions and you don't have data, you're screwed. They just got screwed. Remember, I was saying that they just screwed themselves. The Fed got screwed as well. All of them. The Dems are just like destroying themselves because again, they're giving everything that Trump wanted. They're handing it to him. And I don't think they realize it. I went over this before the shutdown happened and even explained it and said, yo, I'm a registered Democratic voter. They could even consult with me. I'd charge them for sure, but I would definitely tell them exactly what they would have needed to do and what they could still do and need to do. Again, me and Ben were talking about this and that IVF. I mean, again, he reached out to the CEO. He turned down their business like 2 weeks before that all happened. It just so happened. And then he reached out and said, yo, I'll give you a hand for free, whatever. I know I turned down the business and it's perfectly fine. You have a great opportunity here. I'll steer you guys in the right direction because we know what we're talking about. And they just don't even respond back, guys. It's crazy. When somebody responds like that and they know what the hell they're talking about, you might want to take them up on that offer because, again, that thing could have ran not just because we got in it. It's the right thing to do. And so, yeah, the Fed, they're just screwed. I had said it immediately as soon as I knew that the government was going to be in a shutdown. I said Trump's going to win this war because they're handing him everything he wants. And they just don't even realize it because they're too dumb to figure it out. I don't understand it, guys. I just don't understand. We've gone through it a million times. I've broken it down. And all they have to do is watch the show, and I could easily show. I mean, everything I said played out exactly the way we talked about it. And it's just mind-boggling to me. I just don't. And again, what planet? Just name any galaxy, planet, or any other country in this world. When you go to them and say, "Yo, we're gonna not pay your citizens of your country so that we can have a $2.5 billion for healthcare for people that don't belong in the country." What country, planet, galaxy, anything? The aliens aren't doing that. Nobody is going to agree to that, guys. It's bizarro world. It doesn't work. It's not even feasible. You're talking about 2.5 or 3.5 billion dollars going to people that don't actually contribute to anything. So how's that going to work when we're already getting jammed up? Put the $2.5 billion to make my electric bill lower because holy shit, it's like I have 2 mortgages, and then throw the sewer bills and the water bills in. You might as well have like 3 mortgages. It's insane. And they want to have health care for people that they're not even supposed to be in the country. I'm all about helping everybody. And at the end of the day, if you're in the country and you go to the hospital, they're probably going to help you. You might get deported after because they'll probably call the police now. But again, what the heck is going on? How we can't afford to pay for everybody. There's a system where you can easily come in. Well, it is pretty easy if you follow the right rules and you come in the right way and you do it. Yeah, that's the way it was supposed to be made. And again, I tell you, my neighbor definitely agrees with me. And he came into this country. He's from Mexico and he's worked hard his whole life. He's been here a while and he doesn't agree with people coming over here that aren't coming the right way because he had to do it the right way as well and all of his family. And he says, we can't afford this country will go to shit. The guy's from Mexico and he says the exact same thing. And so yeah, and I told you the story about his nephew and everything like that. So it's not like it's something crazy, guys, and it's not something that I'm the only person that can see. Like I said, he sees it clear as day, and a lot of other people do. I just don't understand what people think. And again, if you're so hopped up on the fact that we need $3.5 billion or whatever the freaking money is, 2.5 billion, I don't even know what the hell they're asking for, but it's a lot of money. And if you're so upset that illegal immigrants can't have health care, take the money out of your pocket and go find somebody that needs health care, take them to the freaking doctors and pay for it. It's that easy. It's not like anybody's stopping you from helping anybody. Go help people if you want. But you can't say that the taxpayers have to put all this money in when we don't have the money to put in for it. And again, if we had that excess amount of cash and we weren't worrying about it, nobody would give a shit. But the fact of the matter is our electric bills are absurd. Everything's absurd in this country. And here we want to give out free health care to people that don't contribute to anything. It does not work. It's not feasible. And again, I'm all about helping everybody. It's perfectly fine. That's what we do in this country. We do try to help, but we have to have the country under control and have that extra money to be able to help people. We can't be struggling at home and handing out money and health care to people when we don't have great health care for our citizens yet. Like I've explained, I bet everybody here would want a better healthcare plan. They suck. The doctors don't even approve anything, or the healthcare doesn't approve anything. God forbid you actually need it. They like deny and deny everything that you try to get done. It's like jumping through hoops. And then it's so simple. Like, you need an MRI for something. They make you go get an X-ray, a CAT scan. They make you take every other test that everybody knows isn't going to show up anything. And then they waste all that money and time and your time and everything else. And then finally you get to the MRI and they go, oh yeah, that worked. It's so crazy, guys. It's the biggest game and the biggest scam. And it goes on because these healthcare companies, they make a fortune. So yeah, they have plenty of money. And if they want to take the money out of their pocket and treat illegal immigrants for free, be almighty for it. Go ahead, but don't try to charge everybody and try to say that we need to pay all this money. And again, if we had the excess money and we had all kinds of crypto cash or whatever laying around and it didn't matter, it wouldn't matter. People wouldn't care. But we live in a different world right now. And the last administration had let so many people in that it just got completely out of control, where the fact that like the American citizen kids weren't even getting the resources they needed at school because they were all going to illegal immigrants. And I know for a fact, because I know my wife works in there and I know other people, and it was happening all over the country, guys. And again, they were putting people up in 5-star hotels in New York City, and the government was paying for it. Where was all this money coming from? So it doesn't even make sense. And again, no other country in the planet would ever try to do something like it. So that's how I knew if they didn't want to budge on that, they were absolutely out of their minds. And then they were going to hand everything that Trump wanted right to them without even realizing it. So anyway, there you go. And Luis Rodriguez said he hates to say it, but Polymark has that Mickey Sherrill over Citarelli by a long shot. That's not a good thing right there. I sure hope not. And obviously we live in the worst state ever. It's very democratic. But yeah, if she wins, we're in major trouble. Our electric bill. She literally just came out and said, oh yeah, we should have clean energy, and you guys should just suffer and be happy to pay for the extra money or something along them lines. Yeah, that, like, she's crazy. And not only that, she has this entire scandal going on. I think she went to like a military academy, whichever one it was, and she couldn't even walk because there was some kind of big cheating scandal, and nobody can seem to get to this information, which should be able to be accessed, to be honest with you, with open Oprah records and stuff like that, because again, you're at a military school, and that's not going to be exactly private when that's something like that happens. So yeah, they know that something happened. She didn't get to walk, but she won't tell the whole story, and they can't seem to figure out exactly what it was. I don't know if they can't get the document or whatever it is. And like I said, they should be able to get that on a request on that. So something funny right there. But yeah, I have to look up that one right there. 80-20. That's not good at all. Let me see. New Jersey governor right here. It's got to come up, right? How do I spell governor? New Jersey governor. Doesn't want to come up. Oh, here you go. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, that's that Mickey Sherrillian. It is way up there. We'll have to see if it wants to jump off a cliff as we come a little bit closer there, Luis Rodriguez. So I'll keep my eye on that one for sure. And yeah, I definitely don't want her winning. Holy cow. Oh man, it's going to be bad right there. In this state, we might actually have to move out. And because I'm telling you guys, our electric bills are like $800, $1,000, even when you're not even using the electric. Like, hey, you would think it was because of the air conditioner and everything like that. Don't even use any of it, and it's still up there. I don't even get it. I mean, you could turn off your main box and it's still going to be $800. So whether you have it on or off, they're just charging you like $800 a month at this point because they can, and nobody's stopping them. It's absolutely insane, guys. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous around here. Our food prices are everything's crazy in the state. I've told you this before, and I'm not kidding. You need to make a ton of money to live around here because it's like almost like New York City anymore. It's gotten ridiculous. But anyway, here's our BYND. Not looking bad. We're looking at that YYAI. This one ran early this morning. YDKG or whatever the heck it is. Ford. Remember we were looking at that and it was running up. We were saying it was setting up there. BBAI coming down. That rainy we were looking at. And air right there. We're definitely looking at that bad boy tomorrow morning. It does look like it's getting pumped like crazy. So let's jump on board probably first thing in the morning right there for AIRE. So, we're going to be watching that. DNN coming back down finally, but we were all over that. And yeah, some other ones, silver, RGTI, other ones coming down. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty solid market review right there. That's what our heat map looked like. Gold was down. I'll do the night note, and then you guys enjoy the rest of the evening right there. I think I got to everything. Let me see over here. If I got to everything on the X side, let's see if there's anything cool trending that we missed over on this side. Give me 1 second to hop in. And again, there was really no sports to talk about this evening. I do kind of like updating the sports. I don't know. Do you guys like the sports updates? I kind of enjoy it. It breaks up things a little bit and gives us something else to talk about. Healthcare is not. Oh yeah, healthcare is crazy. Like I said, it's insane. Like, why don't they take that money and put it towards our healthcare? Because our healthcare is wild, guys. And so, Louis, between property tax, you don't even want to know what my property taxes are, guys. Your heads would explode. I'm not going to lie. Cars, the insurance is absolutely absurd. It like literally doubled. The electricity's gone up like 3 times. The state is becoming cost prohibitive. It's so insane, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's so expensive anymore, and everything just like doubled or tripled in like the last year. It was already going up, and yeah, everything now they're reassessing all the property taxes and making them, they're like doubling the taxes. We already had high taxes, guys. I'm not kidding. There's towns around me, a town 2 towns over. My taxes are a little less than this. Town next to me, they're about anywhere from 10 to 16,000 or more. That's like the low ball number in the town. So yeah, that's your property tax per year. I'm not even kidding. You're up at 22,000, 25,000 towns around us easily. You're not even talking big houses, guys. My property tax is insane. It's freaking crazy. And yeah, you would be like, what? It's like, and like I said, and then you add in the electric bills and everything, a car insurance, that's all doubled up, and the home insurance is all doubled up. Electricity's tripled right now. And yeah, just add all that together and try to live in New Jersey. It's crazy, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I've told you guys about it. And every time I get a bill, it's like it literally just increases. You're just like, oh, like I don't think we're using anything more. Like, how are these prices just going up that much more on a consistent basis? It doesn't even make sense. Like it literally it doesn't make sense. So either we're getting robbed every which way and nobody's protecting the consumer, or we're in deep shit trouble, because if not, you're just not going to be able to afford to do anything. Like I say, I don't know how anybody can afford anything unless everybody's just extended their credit lines to like the astronomically. I just don't get it. Like, food's crazy, everything's crazy, and you can't even order out at like a pizza shop. It costs you $100 now to order out at the pizza place. I'm not even kidding. And it's like anywhere between like $80 to $100 for like 3 people to eat at a pizza shop. It's that crazy, guys. I'm not even kidding. So anyway, that's what we deal with in New Jersey. Luis Rodriguez, he knows. He's up in North Jersey. I'm in South Jersey, and they're not too far away in price-wise now. North Jersey used to be a little more expensive, and South Jersey's definitely caught up with you, Luis Rodriguez. I know that for a fact, and our prices are just astronomical anymore. It didn't even matter. North Jersey was like a little more because as where Joseph Levy is in New York, they're a little closer to New York. And like I said, our entire state kind of just caught up with New York. New York's a little bit more pricey than we are. It's a crazy, especially if you live in New York City. Holy cow, it's so expensive, guys. Like, I'm not even kidding. To go out to lunch for like one person, it'll cost you over $50 to eat lunch in New York City. I'm not kidding. It's wild. And like the McDonald's, the meals are like $25 in New York City in Times Square and stuff at the McDonald's. It's just astronomical, guys. It's ridiculous what everything costs. So yeah, that's a little more pricey, obviously, and but we're definitely catching up, and that's not a good thing, I would say. So yeah, New York definitely really expensive, but New Jersey is definitely catching up with you guys. It's out of control for no reason. I mean, it shouldn't be that expensive. So yeah, you're 100 miles out of the city, so your prices are I mean, you're still paying more. It's still expensive. Don't get me wrong, but it's not New York City prices, we'll put it that way. And yeah, Galaxy right here, we were talking about that one, and that was a perfect trade this morning. And that ISRG, we were talking about that, and they're the only ones that are really grabbing my attention on there. And what is SG doing? Sweet Green, that's a restaurant, guys. So there you go. I would say our restaurants are looking pretty good, and a couple other sectors right there. Our building products, casinos, apparel, oil and gas, and restaurants. So you see that you're getting that little shift in the money out of our quantum computer hardwares and all them. So it's all good. And Luis Rodriguez said he spent $50 for the week on his meals. That's actually pretty cheap there, Luis Rodriguez. I'm not gonna lie, because it's super expensive. Like I said, it's I'll just give you an example. So we ordered out like Indian food. We always like Indian food. You get this really good chicken and rice and everything. We love it. Anyway, my wife ordered it. We ordered it what, Saturday night? It was $140. I'm not even kidding. We didn't get that much. It was $140. And yeah, that's what it costs. I'm not even kidding. It's absolutely insane. Luis Rodriguez said his meal plan and pack his own lunches for work. Well, that's what we do. And honestly, we did have some leftovers, so we've been eating that. And so yeah, but that's what it costs. I'm not gonna lie. It's like $140 to order out. Again, the pizza place. So we would rather just do that if we're gonna order out and buy something nicer, because the pizza place costs you $100 to order like cheesesteaks and like whatever you're gonna eat there, chicken parm sandwiches, chicken fingers and fries for the kids. That's going to cost you $100. So we're like, oh, for an extra couple bucks, why not order good food and you have it left over, and you'll actually have some left over at the pizza place. You'll spend $100 and not even have anything left over for the next day. It's crazy, guys. I'm not even kidding. It's that crazy. So yeah, we obviously we pack lunches and stuff. I eat here. I always eat leftovers and stuff. That's why we make a little extra, because I am the king of eating leftovers. But yeah, it's crazy. Chinese food for Joseph Levy by him comes to $90 for him and his wife and a nine. Yeah, Joseph Levy, we're in the same boat. I'm not even kidding. It's like $80, $90, 70 for three people to order Chinese food. Each person gets like their own meal, and that's it. It used to cost like 25, and they'd give you like free egg rolls and something. It's literally like $90. I'm not kidding, guys. You think I'm probably crazy. And Joseph Levy, like I said, our prices are probably very similar. He being 100 miles out of New York, out of the city. So yeah, even when you had a good salary, eat economically. Prefer my. Yeah, we rarely ever order out. And again, last Saturday we were just like, all right, we'll order Indian food, and just again, if we're gonna order out, we're just like, well, we're not ordering the pizza place because it costs $100 and it's not even that great. You'd rather spend the extra $20-$40 and get something really good. There is a really good place. It's a Mediterranean place. I love it, and this place is amazing. That's probably my favorite meal. It's this chicken and rice. I'll have to get it and take a picture of it. Holy cow! I love it. The people and the owners know me. Whenever I call, like, oh, Doug, how are you? Give us 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no problem, guys. Take your time. And it's so good. But anyway, that's actually pretty cheap. It comes out to like what, like less than $20, and they give you like a whole thing of chicken and this big thing of rice and a salad and this huge platter. So it's definitely like a meal or two. It's like 2 or 3 meals, to be completely honest with you, for like $20. And that's a really good deal. It's delicious. So we'll get that every once in a while, but we really don't order out very often, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, we just buy like I said, we get our meats generally at the Amish market or the butchers or wherever. And BJ's has good meats too. But yeah, And yeah, we always cook out or cook everything. I'll cook out or we make something. I was a chef, so I obviously can cook. And but yeah, that is that's what it is. That's what you got to do now, honestly. But yeah, we'll order out like once in a while. It's like $140 just to order out. And like I said, that used to cost us like $70. So it's literally doubled in price. I'm not kidding. And it's the same exact thing. It's not like we're ordering anything extra or anything different. So yeah, we'd get Indian food before and it would be like $60, $70. We used to go out to eat at the restaurant there. And then you just saw them prices. They just soared. It just got so astronomical. And now, like I said, now it's $140 for that same meal. So yeah, they literally doubled everything. And it's not coming down around here. So that's why I was saying, who was it? Doge Mama 9? Somebody was posting out last week the circular ads for food in Texas, I believe it was, and they look like they were like pre-COVID prices. And I said, yeah, you could have a business. And she said, I think Walmart has it. I said, yeah, you could buy groceries and send them to the East Coast and probably make a fortune. She said, I think Walmart did that. No, even Walmarts are super, super expensive. So yeah, it's not like Walmart. You're going to Walmart and really saving much money. Them groceries are, so they might even be more at the Walmart now than at like Aldi. Aldi's probably your best choice and probably has your best meat selection and vegetables. Again, they don't sell everything at Aldi, but I'll say Aldi's probably your best choice. You almost have to go to two supermarkets when you shop. You get everything you can at Aldi because it's great quality and way cheaper. And then you go to the supermarket for everything you can get at Aldi, and you spend double what you spend at Aldi. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's absolutely bizarre around here. But anyway, so yeah, that's just in New Jersey, and I'm sure it's in New York. A couple other states are experiencing that as well. So yeah, if you guys ever have any input on anything like that, just feel free to post it up there. Yeah, $90 for Chinese food. Deep Soul Diving said he never knew how good the '90s were when I was in them. Right? I'm telling you, I tell my daughter all the time, like as a kid, growing up in the 80s and 90s, we would ride our bikes to Taco Bell. We had one right around the corner. It's not there anymore. But yeah, we'd ride our bikes to Taco Bell, and they had like what 59-cent tacos, 29, 39. They used to have like them deals. You'd go in and get like a 6-pack. Me and all my friends would ride all our bikes up there, pile our bikes right there on the handicap ramp on like idiots. Like nobody could ever even get up there, but we would just throw our bikes down like crazy people and just run in Taco Bell and just order so much food. You would take like $7 with you, and you'd have a huge lunch and even have change. And yeah, $7. Now I must say, Taco Bell has them Lux boxes or whatever them boxes. They're actually a pretty good deal if you get them. But everything else, I mean, holy shit, it's so expensive, guys. It's absolutely insane. Everything like fast food, even McDonald's is crazy. Like them, the meals are like they're like 14 13 $14. That's how I know they got to be 25 in New York City, because they're like $14 around here, and New York City tends to be like a little bit like $10 higher for stuff like that. So yeah, just crazy stuff, guys. And I wish that again they would take that money that they're worrying about and actually put it towards something useful that we could actually benefit from. So anyway, that's just my spiel. And again, I was saying it before the government shutdown. I just didn't understand their mindset, because they were handing everything to Trump that he wanted, and it didn't make sense to me, but what do I know? And the yen climbs as gold plunge triggers. So there you go. The what would that be? Forex right there. Where's the yen at? That's Japan. I'm not even sure where it is. I just see the Japanese one. I'm not sure. You guys know I don't really know that, but I wanted to look at the futures is what I wanted to look at, and check out the VIX and the UVXY real quick before we hop off. And the VIX was kind of again, look at that big spike up. You're coming down. It isn't. I don't know if it's good. It does look like it wants to bounce again. I think tomorrow could have a little pullback, but it's right there where it could go either way. You can see UVXY could roll off a little bit, and that VIX could be pulling itself up a little bit there. So we'll definitely be watching that in the morning, that's for sure. And we'll trade around and see what is going to be looking good. Obviously, we're going to keep an eye on that AIRE. It looks like it's going to be getting pumped up there, guys. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty fun market review right there. A little bit of talk about how expensive New Jersey is. And we got our new tires put on my wife's car. So she's all good with that. And that's what happened today. So, yeah, there you go, everybody. I would say a fun time, very entertaining. As always, we had Michael Anthony on here, Deep Soul Diving, Joseph Levy, and of course, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel. Robin, Jennifer Lee's been hanging out lately. Appreciate that. And of course, Doge Mama 9, and always Asian Joe Lee, and everybody else that hangs out. We greatly appreciate it. Joe Jean, I knew there was somebody else in there. And good old Joe Jean was hanging out, and everybody else. Like I said, we greatly appreciate it. Be sure you follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. If you don't already, make sure you like the show on your way out and let everybody know about it. But also, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. We do this show every evening, Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. And then we do our pre-market show every morning, Monday morning through Friday morning at 7 a.m. I do try to start like 5 minutes early, just so we can get through everything, because we hop off right around 7:30, and then I hop back on in the Discord right around 9:10, 9:15 with Ben. We do some live trading up until almost 10:30, 11 sometimes, and then we hop off, and then we hop back on around 3 o'clock and do the end of the day for a good hour, hour and a half. So plenty of fun live trading. You get to see everything all the time, and any questions, be sure to ask me and just shoot me a message on X or a DM on X. You know I respond to everybody, Deep Soul Diving. So you have a good night, Doge Mama 9, and everybody else. Enjoy your evening right here. Not many good sports on, not playoffs or anything. And so, yeah, we got to wait till Friday night for the World Series to start off, and that will be a fun one. So we'll be up early. We'll be watching that Beyond. We'll be watching that AIRE as well to see where that wants to go, and then we'll take it from there, guys. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the morning at 7 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys then. So have a good night, everybody.